Banana. 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 I'm posting. I'm advertising. Hi, Bob. Hi, Dylan. Hi, Weezer speaking. Kids Next Door operative. How you doing? And Sean Duncan is here. Hello. I've just made my advertisement saying for Night Lords keep their friends very, very, very close. Skin tight even. If we don't get it, it's because they like taking the skin from people and wearing it like clothing. They're very, very evil. Can't think of any punchline so simple.
There's a Black Templar upgrade kit that is a holy hand grenade.
There is. Black Templar kits have always had a holy hand grenade of Antioch in them. If you don't know, it used to be that you could take upgrades right for your captains and stuff, or for any character really, including like sergeants. If you play Old World, it's similar to taking magic items in that game. And one of the relics you could take was a one-use grenade called the Holy Grenade of Antioch. I think it had like a 9-inch range or something like that. It was a strength 8 AP3 weapon, ranged weapon, that you used a small blast template and it could scatter onto your own troops. But it was an incredibly powerful weapon. It was like, you could wipe out like an entire squad of Marines with it. It was ridiculous. It had enough strength that it could one-shot lots of heroes and lords in the game. And it was like, oh my goodness. Ow. But hi, Anthony, by the way. And hi, K-Trax. Hydra. Dominatus Nox. Oh. I believe in platonic enjoyment of older tall women. There is nothing heretical about appreciating your elders and their many, many gifts. Yeah. What do you mean, elders? I'm the youngest one here. Oh, that makes more sense. One of the Night Lords is secretly an Alpha Legion. No, there's no Alpha Legion Night Lords. I need to get my gloves on. I've not got my black gloves on. There we go. And I'm not covered in cat hair today because I got fresh gloves and I avoided giving my cats loads of cuddles. Despite how cute they are and how big their eyes were. Like, give us cuddles. Hi, Rahel. How you doing? Oh, yeet. Yeeting at my face. You're not allowed to. I am Alfarius and this is a lie. No, there is no Alpha Legions in my Night Lords. I think the Alpha Legion wouldn't have a hard time infiltrating this faction, but they'll have a hard time making sense of it. They'll be like, there's no point infiltrating a faction. They've infiltrated themselves. There are loads of holes in these gloves, though. In my sleeve gloves. But here we go. Let's go to the hand cam.
No, but there might be a Night Lord sleeper agent for the Alpha Legion.
Maybe. By the way, I decided to take my half-painted Black Templar and compare it in size to the Night Lord, and I realised the Black Templar's like so much bigger. Primaris Marines, baby! It's like a half a head to a head taller than them. And it's like, this is probably the easiest one to tell. It's like, oh. Their backpack adds a lot of extra height on the Chaos ones, but if you compare like head heights, you can see it's actually insane how much taller the Primaris Marine is. It actually kind of makes sense. In combat, one-on-one, the Primaris Marine would actually win against these Night Lords, because he gets 5 attacks. For Night Lords with a Chainsword, if equipped similarly, so if you put Chainsword Night Lord versus Black Templar Primaris, the Primaris Marine would get 5 attacks. The Night Lord one would only get 4 attacks. The Black Templar one's pistol is also just better. It's like, oh. I mean, no rule though. No rules. Alpha Legion number is unknown. I think most of the number of the legions is unknown. Oh, do you mean like the number of like what numbered legion are they? Like, isn't Ultramarines 8 or something like that? Why does the fabric look yellow? I don't think it should. Oh, that fabric, it's half painted at the moment. I think it looks a bit yellow due to the lighting. Let me put this light on, it might help. Oh no, it's a bit too bright. It's meant to be more browny colour, but it's only half painted at the moment. Like, I've done no highlights, it's just plain bronze. If you want to know what the fabric should roughly look like, it's meant to look a bit yellowish to represent that it's old and a bit, you know, worn out. I'll find one that's finished painted.
Oh, we go straight to play with toys. No website simulator? Underscore Cupcon Heart colon underscore Cupcon Heart.
Roughly. I'm also experimenting a little bit with this colour scheme. Oh, we go straight to play with toys. No website simulator. I mean, you can go to the website if you want to. Who is this guy? This guy's Osma. But yeah, if you compare it. So I'm going to go over with some like rake off flesh and stuff eventually. I should have possibly watered down the paint a little more for contrast paints. I'm still experimenting with them. I'm still struggling to come to understand them. No, not the website. She's a meat sandwich. I'm not a meat sandwich. But yeah, like, compare this Power Fist dude to this Power Fist dude. Black Templar one's just taller. Yeah. On top of this, these guys can get like sustained hits and stuff in close combat using their dark packs. Like, oh! But the Black Templars can just get it generically. And it's like, these guys, okay, if we take the unit, we can have a voice eater and we can be like, oh, you can't use your voice anymore. You can't use stratagems. It's like, okay, I'm just going to oath of movement. And it's like, oh. It's like, okay, if you're damaged, we get +1 to hit. It's like, okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. That evens it out a little bit. But you realise that we got 2 power fists. And it's like, ah! And a power sword. It's like, ah! It's like, okay, we have a power fist, a chain glaive, and dual power weapon here, and another power weapon. So honestly, in combat, it would still be fairly even. Okay, now I'm curious how you do the fabric to go from very yellow to looking worn tan. One, it's partly just for lighting that makes it look more yellow than it is. If I turn off some lights, maybe this will help. And then turn on this light. That's a white light. No, it still looks a bit yellow. Any good Night Lord latest story? I don't really have any stories of my Night Lords. Other than what I was talking about yesterday for idea for them. I bought a bunch of models though last night. I gave in.
Erland, you have a gambling addiction.
Erland is Gamba. And Bob is Gamba. Oh, Bob's gambling way more than Erland though. But yeah, no, it's partly because I'm still experimenting with contrast. This guy was not painted using contrast paints. He was painted using older methods, the other normal base paints and layering methods. But he still had a similar sort of thing where I painted a browner colour and worn colours. And then what I do is I go over with highlights of lighter whiter colours. Like Wraithbone, Rakear Flesh and stuff like that. I'll probably be going over in Rakear Flesh. And, you know, another colour. Let me look. Pallid Rich Flesh maybe. Wraithbone is another one I'll probably use. or one of the other bone colours. Yeah, I mostly went with bone colours here. And I went with skeleton hard for this colour. But unfortunately, the skeleton hard colour was more yellow than I really... It felt more brown originally, but then it kind of went to more of a yellowy colour. Again, it doesn't look as yellow. Actually, I've got these lights generally have a bit of a yellow glow on them. So if I turn off those lights, maybe that will help. And this light here. I turn off the ones that have a bit of a yellow glow. Yeah, it looks a bit more brown now. But yeah, if I just go with some Raycar flesh, pallid rich flesh, or something like that, just to go over and highlight it, it should hopefully bring it back to being more worn and dirty. I do agree, it doesn't look how I wanted it to look, but this is why we experiment, we try and try again. Yeah. Hi, Nano Fate, you got Vermintide 2 on sale, yeah! I hope you enjoy it. I need to try it again now that we've got a big old update coming out. Is that blue colour or just my eyes? The gun and sword. Oh no, yeah, this is blue. But like, if you look, the back's also blue. Not for back, the cape's also blue. It's because normally Black Templar would use red for, you know, for sword and stuff, but I don't really like that red colour. And I wanted to make my Black Templar stand out and be a bit more unique. So my idea is that our crusade is it purple? Maybe there's a bit of purple in there, but no, I'd say it's blue. This is purple. Little brown and water should do the old trick. Oh, you got the jump catch thing. Nice. But yeah, oh yeah, so my crusade, I wanted for Black Templar to be a bit more unique and to stand out. Partly because I also like the idea that, you know, the Black Templar are like a spectrum of like how crazy they are and how intolerant they are of things. So you get on the one side of things, you get for Black Templar how they're often seen in memes and stuff, where they're just like, oh my gosh, Xenos, burn it, mutant, burn it. Like, just wanting to burn and kill everything, and they've got like no pity and no remorse. And then on the other side completely, you've got the Black Templar who are all about the Emperor too much. And they try to go for a complete opposite direction in terms of a lot of things. Like, they see astropaths who can see the light of the Emperor as like blessed, as super blessed. They don't really care about mutants as long as they're not chaos or Xenos mutants. So like things like Ogrins and stuff they actually respect, and Ratlings, or at least to some lower extent. They actually like Psychers who are sanctioned and officially sanctioned and stuff. And they care heavily about trying to protect the civilians and citizens of you know, the thing. Because the entire part of a Black Templar is ever out there trying to earn the Emperor's forgiveness and, you know, trying to liberate people and save humanity. That's like the entire idea behind the Black Templar originally. And as a result, you end up with like two sides of them. And these two sides often butt heads with one another and even kill one another and get into civil wars and fights. It's like, Hellbatch is roughly in the middle, leaning towards this side. Remalders is definitely on this side of stuff as well. Because he highly respects a lot of humans and stuff. But then you get the other side, which is basically any sort of named Black Templar who has an important role in a story, or we follow their eyes, generally goes more this way, while Black Templar who are more antagonistic to a story generally go more this way. So that when they're being more antagonistic of a story, it's somebody for the main characters who are good people to butt heads with. Because these are clearly not very good people, the Black Templar. I've only got for ones who are good people. It's like, so mine generally go more this way, or at least for Howderick, the leader, does. But some of his followers do go this way. It's like, oh. This in full yap mode, there's nothing we can do. Yep, sorry. Oh, you just completely misspelled water. Don't worry, my dyslexia fixed it. Woman, it's time to stop crying. Thank you. And Blood Raven new colours, black and red. Yeah. I mean, for things change. And the Black Templars don't follow any codex of Astartes or much of a uniform. You can't even hear us. I can hear you. Sorry, I was just wanting my scent. I was just finishing my thought. The Black Templars are basically send on guaranteed slip and slide missions, and if they survive, they are forgiven. That's not quite it. So, if you want to know the origins of a Black Templar to some extent, you've got Sigismund, right, who believed that the Emperor is a god. He's the founder, effectively, of a Black Templar, and he wasn't very liked by his Primarch Rogel Dawn a lot of the time, because of how zealous he was. Might be thinking of Death Watch. But after, if I remember correctly, after the Horus Heresy, Rogel Dawn, after like witnessing, he was too late to save the Emperor from being like stabbed by Horus and stuff. And he blamed himself. And he was too late to save his brother, Sanguinius, from being killed by Horus. So after this, he went on a crusade, like just full of rage and anger, vengeance, and like wanting forgiveness, but also to punish himself. And the Black Templar, ever since, have effectively continued that crusade. Even after Rogel Dawn himself stopped it and gave in to the demands of splitting up the chapter, of the legions into chapters, the Black Templar were like, nah, we're gonna go crazy. We're gonna continue waging this war and continue our crusades, continue liberating the world and earning the Emperor's forgiveness for our failures during the Horus Heresy. But some of them don't really think about the forgiveness side of it too much, more do focus on that forgiveness side. Black Templars are a very varied group of people. It's like the real life Templars, where they're from different countries.
This is a robbery. Give me your cupcakes.
No! Don't take my cupcakes away. They're friends. They're friends, not food. Not possessions to rob and steal. Yeah. But yeah, Black Templars just on an eternal crusade to, like, destroy the enemies of the Imperium and the Emperor. Oh, but no! Dodge! Lol. Ow! Oh gosh, I know what I forgot to do. Oops, I forgot. Notification. Get rid of his notification symbol, thank you. Pop out chat. I want chat over here so I can see it easier. Yeah, that's my Black Templar anyway. Yeah, my Black Templars are one that like the Primaris more and fully embraced them. In fact, the Marshal in charge is is a Primaris Marine, fully, like, whatever. But he originally comes from a crusade that hated the Primaris, but after the crusade, or during it, he was effectively sent away with a small warband to do his own new crusade out to the middle of nowhere. And he ignores a lot of rules of Space Marines. But it's fine. It's fine, he's allowed to. Because he's Black Templar. For instance, he just tries, he's always just farming gene seed. He just has loads of Marines in test tubes. Where's my models? There they are. I think I got them under the desk. Here they are. Okay, move that to one side. Got some bases here that we probably won't use today. Oh yeah, I bought a load of models. I could tell you what models are bought. You know, actually, I could tell you what models are bought. But it'll be easier. It would be easier just to show you what models are bought. Website. You thought we escaped. You thought we... Oh, what's this? New stuff. Oh, look. Rubs up. Ogres. Very, very green ogres. They look like zombies. Armies of Middle-earth designers. Oh, it looks so cool. He looks like he's about to be skewered.
You? Buying models? So out of character.
I know. It's out of character, right? Oh, wait, this new Deepkin model. Oh, that's a cool model. It looks more like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. It looks like this should be for art of a Yu-Gi-Oh card, if I'm entirely honest. Actually, it looks like this should be one piece of art. This should be another piece of art. And the entire thing should be another artwork. I always wondered what exactly Gene Seed was, because I can't be what I thought at first. Okay, so Gene Seed is the seed of a marine. No, it's there's 2 organs in the body. I can't remember exactly where they are. One of them I think is in the chest. Another I think is in the neck or something like that. Let's close this for now. I can tell you about Gene Seed. So one of them's in the chest, one of them's in the neck. When a marine dies, the Gene Seed effectively is what's responsible for growing a marine, or growing the organs of a marine, partly responsible. So what you have to do, you extract the Gene Seed, which will survive, and then you implant it into a new space marine. You don't need both pieces, you just need one of them. Just implant it into a new space marine recruit in the chest or the neck, and it will start growing a new body for, or the new organs, start changing the body and everything like that. And they will grow another set of Gene Seeds. So if you plant one in the chest, in their neck, they will grow a new Gene Seed. Equally, a living space marine can be harvested for one of his Gene Seeds. I think if you take the one in the neck, it can actually regrow to a limited extent. So sometimes if they need lots more space marines because they lost a lot of space marines, let's say for on a planet during a bombardment, so all the space marines of a Gene Seed was lost, what they'll do is they'll take what Gene Seed they do have and like get some criminals and people who can survive the process of becoming space marines but shouldn't be space marines, and what they'll do is like grow them in a test tube, and so that they'll turn into space marines, get new Gene Seed, and then they can take the Gene Seed from them and put that into new people who they can grow in a test tube and take their Gene Seed. And they can just keep harvesting Gene Seed until the person, they can't get any more Gene Seed out of them. And that's what my lord does here to maintain his forces and to grow them rapidly. Well, this isn't him, but Alderic, you know the guy, he's got a big old claw. That's what Alderic's always doing. Think of them like Superman glands, kind of like that. Yeah, they're basically glands in the body. They recycle it. Yeah, it's like recycling. This is one of the reasons it's a bit awkward. They eat everything. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why a lot of the missions involving Space Marines and Nids, like especially early on, were Space Marines trying to get Gene Seed back for the Nids. I think one of the missions that they had for Battle of McCraggy had a little guy that had a gun, and he had this, he was in a crashed plane, or came from a crashed plane, and he had a little suitcase, like a refrigerated suitcase. Have you seen from it, like for organs and stuff? This was, I think, in Battle of McCrag. And the entire point of the mission was the Space Marines need to get him out of the battlefield and to safety. If the Space Marines succeed in doing that, they get the Gene Seed. And like in that little box he has, there's like an entire company's worth of Gene Seed or something stupid. And the Tyranids obviously want to eat the Gene Seed. Reduce, reuse, Leviathan. Yeah, but this is one of the reasons why Tyranid warriors suddenly became much stronger and why Tyrant guards suddenly started appearing. It's apparently they ate Space Marine Gene Seed and was like, oh, Oh my gosh, this is ingenious. We can use this. We can use this in our guys. An entire skirmish over a box of spleens, basically. In real life, you do get stuff like that, though. People have fought over medical supplies and blood before. So, although usually it's both sides wants to use it. Especially when it comes to rarer blood types. And if you can't use it, then sometimes you just want to blow them up. But that's one of the reasons why, like, medical supply trucks and stuff are considered, targeting them is considered a war crime. But nonetheless, it doesn't stop people attacking them and fighting over them. Aha, Robo Girly Man, new Primaris is different. It is. It is. I hear that some of the big organised crime rings in Asia get up to that. To some extent, although I do believe that the entire thing of the black market organs is, you know, not as big of a deal as sometimes media and internet culture would have you think. Unfortunately, it's still a relatively big deal, but not as much. Technically, bullets are against the Geneva Convention. Not really. But anyway, what we're doing. We're looking at for models. We're looking at for stuff. Oh yeah, what's any new stuff here? Oh yeah, what's this about? That's a 9. How to prepare for a new edition. Choose your legion. Black Templars. Yeah, I don't care about the new edition. All I care about is new models. Because they're all going to be in 40k. Oh, but look! Look! We got breacher squads and shields and stuff. Oh. I love this thing. I've got a Kratos tank and I've got 2 I need to build. I also need to build like my Spartan tanks. Pick up a Primarch. Yeah, pick up a Primarch. Pick up a Primarch. I also love these dreadnoughts. I want to get some of them. But yeah, don't see something stupid. It tells you to pick up a Primarch, but let's go and look. Okay, what Primarch do we want? Do we want Horus? Do we want Horus? Oh, we can get Horus. We can't get this Horus, but we can get this Horus. That's nice. Okay, let's look for another Primarch. Let's look for another Primarch. Night Lords. Night Lords. We got some Night Lords here. Oh, out of stock. Oh, out of stock. Let's look at any other stuff that's... Oh, out of stock. 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 Has any of it's been in stock for the past 5 months? No. None of it's been in stock in the last 5 months. Oh, let's look at Emperor's Children. It's the one over here. Nope, he's out of stock. He's out of stock. What about the... No, there's another version of him, right? Where is he? Where is he? There's got to be another version of him somewhere. There he is. Okay, there's a version of him that is in stock. This one. This is an amazing model, to be fair. I do kind of want it. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Mark II is very cool. Mark II is very cool. Bodego's new edition is close. But it's not just that. It's like, I've been looking for this tank for ages. Because I have a voucher. And this fits right in the price range of a voucher. And it's been out of stock. For the entire time. I check every single day. Is it in stock? No, it's not. Oh, but it says sold out online, so maybe that means it will never come into stock. It used to just say temporarily out of stock like this one. So maybe that means a plastic version is coming. In which case, if it is, I'm going to get it. But... Hi, Pac-Man. Oh, did it say hello, Nick the Salamander? I love how this are construction site yellow. Well, they are constructors, you know. Oh yeah, Rogel Dawn's also out to start. People are theorizing that maybe it means of a new edition we might get some plastic versions of them, but I doubt it. But anyway, what did I buy? What did I buy? So this is what I bought. Armies of Chaos, Death Guard. So I wanted my Nurgle Sorcerer, right, in Terminator armor. So I was like, okay, I have to go for these models. At first I was going to go for him, but his base is too big and he has no spare parts. So I was looking around. I wanted to get this, but he was out of stock and I can't buy it from other websites because it's only from this store. So instead, I went for some of these Death Shroud Terminators because I'm going to use a spare... I only need one of them, but that means I'm going to have 2 spare dudes, right? Who I can just use on, like, bases and for, you know, cutting them up to do stuff with. Like trophies and like diorama stuff, conversions. But also, there's going to be plenty of spare parts to mix with my Terminators I'll be getting through Combat Patrol. And make them all Nurglish. I was tempted to get this one. I also bought some Plague Marines because I wanted a Plague Marine squad for the units, and I can convert some of the models with them. The spare bits. Rogel Dawn helped Mechanicus rediscover the JCB. Yes! I didn't buy any of the tanks or vehicles because I didn't want any. Actually, I do. There's 2, but I decided against it because they significantly increased the price of things I needed to buy. Emperor's Children, I bought some Noise Marines. Where are they? Where's the Noise Marines? Yeah, I bought some Noise Marines because we're going to have a Noise Marine squad in the army. Yeah, getting some Terminators through Combat Patrol eventually. What else did I get? Warhammer 40k. Armies of Chaos. Chaos Space Marines. Then over here, I got a box of Chaos Cultists. Because I was getting some Cultists. And then I'm getting Havocs through for Combat Patrol magazine, so that's fine. I'm also getting a Hellbrute through there. I was tempted to get a Rubik's Marine squad, but decided against it because I do need some Cinchian pieces to convert some models to make them look more Cinchy. But I decided against it because I needed more Night Lord pieces, so I decided to buy 2 boxes of these. I was going to have another box of Nemesis Claws anyway because I wanted a unit of them. But I've decided I'm going to convert the Legionnaires that we currently have into Havocs because I've found 5 spare 40mm bases to turn them into Havocs. I'm going to use some of my Devastator last cannons that I don't use. And some heavy bolters and these kits and stuff to make, you know, first Havoc squad. I thought that would be fun. So for other boxes of Nemesis Claws, it's just going to be used as Legionnaires. And be used as spare parts to convert all 3 of the models into Night Lords. Hello, a certain mysterious virtuoso. How are you doing? Armies of Chaos. And there was one other model I bought. And it was for my Sorcerer. I decided to get this guy to be my generic Sorcerer because it looks so cool. I'll probably replace this hand, maybe. And I'll replace that head, definitely. But yeah, I thought it was such a cool model. I'm really glad I never got into Warhammer 40k models, knowing my collection, Goblin Self, I would eventually take out a second mortgage. What do you mean second? 10th mortgage! If you've not got your 10th mortgage yet, then you're not spending enough. If a bank's not refusing to give you a mortgage, you have to go to a loan shark because you keep spending too much money. There was one other thing I bought, and it was through the Necromunda. It was these gals. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use these as 10 more cultists. Because they're going to be Slaneshi cultists. I'm probably going to use these pieces here to convert a dark commune. And this person's going to be the leader. Well, not that person, but, you know, parts of there. I'm going to mix it with the... Do we got that Sanctum box? Oh, Bayer's raiding. Hi, Bayer. We got that Kill Team box set with some, you know, normal humanoids in. Don't attack. Don't attack. You're meant to be friendly, Bayer. Cupcakes are friends, not enemies or food. Yeah, I'm going to do a conversion with that. Ex-God Raid. Hi, Raiders. Hello. We've not built anything yet. It's been half an hour. All I've been doing is yapping.
Dreamer Raid. Hey, your general and everyone. Index pointing at the viewer emoji. _ Capcom nerd : _ Capcom Cupcat : Capcom lag.
I'm not laggy. I'm not lag. I'm not cat. I'm not anything. Ow. Hi, Bayer. How you doing? Hi, Goldman Bugs. Hi, Elite Trainer. Hi, Red Bernie. Hi, Tongue. I can't say your name. Hi, Tongue. Egg-Squad Wade. Egg-Squad. I'm not a cat. Ow, don't put a bear on my head. I saw you trying to balance it on my head. Glasses look cool, General. Thank you. Dreamer Raid and such. Hi, TA. Hello. I'm Cupcake Conjuror in name and profession. First name, Cupcake. Second name, Conjurer. And I conjure cupcakes. Like all of you guys that
Capcom is in the process of constructing models now. In what stage of the process, you may ask? Contemplative, smiley face emoji.
The contemplative stage. Yeah, I am in the contemplative stage. Explain this emoji. It's not a cupcake. It's just, you know, a happy little cupcake with some fondant. There's some fondanty hair and some fluff in it that makes it look like cat ears. Nothing wrong with that. This one is for my boys. Okay, so you're a cat now. I'm not a cat. They just try and make me look like a cat. Okay, who's the dude that we need to make next? We need to make the guy with a chain glaive next. Explain for ear cupcake. It's not an ear. Look, it's just got some fondant, got some fluff in it, and it looks like a cat ear, but it's not. Are you fondant of us? Oh gosh, are you fond of us? No, you keep calling me Cupcat. I don't like it. I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm joking. I am fond of you guys. You do. Ah! Cup witch cat. I'm not a cup witch. I'm not a witch. I'm not a cat. Don't go to me. It's not distracting at all. I'm not distracted. I'm not distracted by the... I'm going cupcake and have a good stream. Bye-bye, Dylan. Bye-bye. I hope you have a good time. Oh... I knew a cupcake once. He got mixed up with a mob, and he was iced. Oh goodness, mongoose. Oh goodness, I hope your cupcake friend's okay after being iced. It's not fun being that cold. Can mess with you.
Did you take daily cola dosage?
Yeah, I did. I took my daily cola.
Okay, what about keys? Jingle, jingle. Keys? Oh. Keys? Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Give me keys. I want the keys. Give. I don't have any keys. I was going to do a thing where I was like going to grab some keys and then just like make it look like I grabbed keys for the screen, but I don't have any nearby. Wait. Keys. Give keys. Give keys. Oh, Island key. Yeah, it doesn't jingle. Why do you give Island key? It doesn't jingle. No jingle. It's very shiny. It's very shiny. That's nice. And take care of your stomach, General. I really hope you feel better. I'm trying to. Gen Alpha Hag. Why are you calling me Gen Alpha? She's a cat. I'm not a cat. I'm not a cat. I got water. Look, it's tempting to use simple tools. I'm always sick. I'm always ill. I mean, that's actually serious. I'm always ill. I have a stomach condition. Okay, let's go with this one. Okay, that's 81. He's 81. Do 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 do. He's 81. Do 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 do. Anyone, it's a time to be. He's 81. It's a time to be her. No. Which one's a bat? Ah, here we go. Piece 81, 94, 95. Piece 29, piece 1, piece 53. I wonder, could I mix it with piece 94? You can only eat light food and hardly have any fun after eating. It's true. It's true. I have stomach conditions. It's not only light food. It's only foods that I've got a very limited amount of food that I can eat. And even a small amount of garlic and onion can make me very ill. And potentially kill me. Which has led me to the belief that certain things have tried to kill me. Oh gosh, Oh no. Oh, maybe this one could go here. Nope. Okay, this piece can't be used here then. Sads. Okay, so does that mean I can't use any of the cool pieces? I can't. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna have to use one of these pieces here then. Which one? Let's try this one. There you go, one doesn't fit. One doesn't fit. This one does fit. And this one doesn't fit. Doctor's not able to find the issue. I hope you get the condition out of your life. It's unlikely. It's a lifelong issue. I've had it my entire life. It's fine. It just gets annoying sometimes. Oh, wait. Garlic? Are you a vampire? I mean, I have fangs. I'm incredibly pale. And I did need blood transfusions. So maybe. An hour later, she comes back to complain that her stomach hurts and I worry. Oh, what is this? I scolded my co-worker this morning because she kept trying to buy expired milk, so I agreed to buy her a bigger thing that I could take for rest home so she wouldn't drink the expired milk. An hour later to come back to complain about stomach hooks. I worry if the milk I got was expired too. But date is fine. Next words out of her mouth were, no, it's because I'm lactose intolerant. Oh my goodness. Yeah, mine thing's a bit worse than lactose because it can actually kill me pretty easily. Well, I mean, it depends. Some people have lactose intolerant really can't handle it at all. But it's not like something where I could just... Well, it depends. Certain foods I can allow myself to eat. It'll make me a bit ill, but it's not going to kill me. It's not going to be very serious. But a lot of them, it's very serious. Alright, gonna lurk and dissolve. So don't dissolve! You have to be alive, elite trainer. You have to survive in 5. Hi, Tony, the Tanuki. Thanks for yeeting stuff at my face. As long as it's not a garlic or an onion, it's fine. Hi, Talam, by the way. We're making bacon. We're making bacon night lords. Well, actually, they're not bacon night lords. I just like the term. I just like saying, making bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Okay, that's correct. Yeah. How is Conjuror streaming from Bangkok prisons? I'm not... What do you mean I'm in a Bangkok prison? They're just trying to get me demonetized. Is that it? By getting me to say things that YouTube will think is bad. He is. He's evil. There you go. Clean that up. I saw if I arrested you because you bit. I did not bite a cat. I did not get arrested. I am not a cat. Ignore what Talan says. God darn it, the arm fell off. Beats. Beats. Pick the arm piece up. There we go. Oh. Even had a photo. That's not me. Look, that cat wasn't even green and purple. How would you think it was me? Do you think that I'm not just a cat? I'm every cat. Do you think cats just like have a hive mind? I'm like head of a hive mind or something. Is this it? Do you think there's only one cat in existence and that's me? I saw a video of a cop getting attacked by a freaked out cat during the SWAT raid. Aw, poor kitty cat. Sometimes wonder about the necessity of SWAT raids. There we go. Yesterday, I'm not a cat despite cat's ears. Today turns into a cat until Lan 17 has evidence. Still, I'm not a cat. He doesn't have evidence. It's not evidence. That's like going into cart with a picture of a random person and going, they did it. It's like, that's not even me, sir. And if the jury's just like, nah, it looks like you. Oh my goodness, that's exactly how some people feel. They go into prison and it's just, they go into court. It's like, we believe this person on this camera's you, clearly not you. Do do do.
Keep it at grandma, gaslight, gatekeep girl boss.
What are you on about? I'm not even doing. You are the ones doing the gaslighting and gatekeeping and stuff. I am just being my beautiful self. Actually, should I compare these guys to the size of a standard guardsman? I should probably compare these guys, shouldn't I? I'll glue this shoulder pad on and then see how he looks. The way it's holding, it's like holding like a stave or staff. To acknowledge a grandma. I'm not a grandmother! No, don't call me out, that's mean. Reminds me of that Russian video of a Russian SWAT trying to arrest someone in their apartment. The dude bolted out and started beating the SWAT with his hands. Oh. But give me a moment. I'm gonna get a guardsman. I bought 3 guardsmen. I want to compare sizes. Trying to eat the glue. No, don't try to eat the glue. Cuptle's always watching. For protection. Okay, so normal guardsman, size guardsman with an Aquilin. Yeah. Chaos Space Marine, much larger. Give us a hug. Yeah. Much larger. Compare this guy. Yeah, for easy, head larger than a normal guardsman. But let's compare them to the priest, who is stepping on the head of a lictor. Still taller, but the size difference is less obvious. Like she's got a big old chainsawed flamethrower. And she does have a height advantage because she's got a tactical lictor head. Actually, next to this one, she's almost the same height. Might even be taller. Oh, no, not quite taller. But yeah, I guess bigger character model plus tactical rock. Similar height. And then let's compare them to a knight on a horse. Dead. Dead. Space Marine doesn't stand a chance. Actually, I mean, honestly, it's true. These guardsmen on a charge would devastate a Space Marine squad because they got Melter Lancers. Well, actually, because I use mine as Attillans, they can have Melter Lancers. But anyway, let's look. Model for mount. He is cool and shares. No, Cuptle doesn't eat glue with you. He pretends he has glue, but in reality, it's just some glucose syrup. And you guys are like, oh my gosh, tasty, tasty glue. And Cuptle's just like, tricks you with glucose syrup. And baking glue. Okay, backpack. I wanted ones of, I think, skulls on. Yeah, here we go. Here's a scully one. I don't really have a way to make these guys look more Cinchian though. Which is sad. I'm just gonna have to like paint the Siege stuff onto them. Do. There we go. And then the feet. Oh my god, dude made! Only after an hour of streaming we finally made a dude. Can you believe it? All it took was an hour. Oh, yeah, look at my description for stream commands. That's true, Muffin. Should I turn this light on? Is it already? Oh, it was already on. But yeah, he's got a big old chain glaive that goes. Should be named David, maybe. Maybe. Remember that name from when painting from in like 6 years. He's like, I'm gonna chain glaive you. Yeah, you should have thought about that before I shot you in the face. You know, this is not very focused, is it? There we go. Hi, Night Parade! Okay, we're gonna have one more guy who has an accursed weapon. I think the best way to have an accursed weapon is... Wait, do we not have a power sword in here? Oh, we have an axe. Oh, I don't like how the axe has Eye of Horus on it, though. I could use that thing, but I'd rather save that. We could have a club. I think there's a club somewhere. Yeah, there's a big old just club here and mace. Just smack them. Yeah, I could use that. Okay, 112. We need... pretty much any hand. 33 is fine. And then any pistol hand is fine. Oops. Dropping things. Where did you store all of these? Is there like a dedicated shelf? Or do for the models or for the boxes? For the models, they're all on top of a filing cabinet. For the boxes... Oh no, for boxes, sorry, for all on top of a filing cabinet. And for the models, I have a display case. And for everywhere, I've recently bought a big old plywood, not plywood, MDF box that I had to put together myself with lots of magnetic shelves on them. So I could store all of my dwarves and goblin stuff there. And then I'm just going to put that in the attic. It has a giant system of tunnels under a house, the catacombs of Paris style. Instead of schools, it's Warhammer schools. True. How did you know about that? I'm currently at war with the government under the house. If you ever hear just like random explosions or screams, don't worry, it's just the government. My tunnels intersected with government tunnels, and now, you know, there's a big old war going on. You know how it is. $11. $10. So you go like this. And then obviously... Oh, darn it, I dropped it. I keep dropping things on the floor. I'm working expanding these tunnels for the past 20 years. I miss my family. I forget how the sun looks. Talan, if that was true, you'll still be down there working. But you're not, so it can't be true. Okay, this one goes here then, that's fine. I have a phone in one hand and a pickaxe in the other. Talan, you're a tiny little rat. I don't think you're going to do much work down there. Rats aren't known for building expansive tunnels big enough for my Warhammer collection. If I stop using either hand, I don't get toe hat. You don't get to eat. Oh, to eat. Wait, who's feeding you? Tell them to stop it. What's against the law? Against cupcake law. Okay. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 na, 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 na. I'm gonna shoot your face. Oh. Oh. Shoot. You're meant to be aiming up at the camera so you can shoot the people watching. I keep dropping things on the floor today. I'm just dropping everything on the floor today. I don't know why, it just seems to be the way it goes. No, let's keep it down. Oh, let's actually put it backwards. Like that. Oh, that's cool actually. Kind of. You're meant to be aimed slightly up. You can go back. Go back. Don't come back to me. Yeah, you go like that. Oh, yeah. So it's like hand back. Balancing itself. And I've just got 3 bolt guns to make. Yeah, okay, maybe that's not as cool as I thought it would be. It looks like he's wiping his butt with a mace. Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe we can just like half it down like this. He's in a more casual pose, just checking out his mace. Yeah, that's I think a nicer pose. I'll take another one of the Night Lord heads. I think another one of the hooded heads, maybe. Maybe? How many do we have left? You. Yeah, let's take one of the hooded heads. Oh, yeah. By the way, don't forget to like the stream. And subscribe if you haven't already. Every like on this stream is another Night Lord that we've built. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, yeah, no, that's cool. Okay, you need a backpack and you need 2 shoulder pads. Let's get you one of these shoulder pads on. There we go. And one of these shoulder pads. And where's the backpacks? Oh, wait a minute. I know one of those shoulder pads I wanted to use. It's this one.
Like, subscribe and type !Yeet into the chat.
No, don't yeet at me. Don't yeet anything at me. Don't bombard me. That'll be mean. And you don't want to be mean to the VTuber who's making Night Lords. Make them Night Lords. Bombardment. Haha, you typed 1 exclamation mark. No bombardment for you. Ah, yeet. Ow, bombardment. Ow, 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 ow. That microphone at the end was just adding insult to injury. Just rolling off my head. Bombardment, no. No. Ow! Why were there so many birds? I can barely believe, barely believe it. You get it. You get it. You can barely believe it. Barely believe it. na 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 na. Na 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 na. Ow! For Urson! No! Kislev doesn't deserve Urson. Urson deserves better. Aha, bear. Bear, but... Hi, Malmal. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, God. My boys, Boris, literally did nothing wrong. Look. Look, no one called Boris is innocent. That's the first thing you need to learn here. Look at him go. Oh, darn it. I'm sleeping a very deep sleep right now. What did you say? I said hi. And before that, I was talking about having bears thrown at me, and I could barely believe it. Okay, that's our last cool model in this unit. For next, it's just all basic bolt guns. Basic bolt guns. So I just like saying banana. He froze to death, woke up, found his daughter was kind of a bad boop, and said, alright, guess I'm gonna punch demons in the woods. Only in Total War 3. Also, he usually dies if he's the AI. I've only seen him succeed like once as the AI, which was pretty cool. And then it's like I had to unlock him. And it was super hard to unlock him. I was like, what? You don't want me to play as your Boris? He's like, nah, don't like you. Don't like your Cupcon. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. I understand. When I'm hated. And he said, good. Good. You better understand. He said, that's what Boris is like, you know. I came back and she's bullying herself. No, Boris bullied me. Except Boris Todbringer. Boris Todbringer did nothing wrong. And CA just decided to hate on him. He brings for Todd. He's taking our jobs. To be fair, he spawns next to Archeon. Yep. And now Arbel's right there too. It's like, hey boys, we've heard you're having a really hard time with Archeon. It's like, oh, it's true. It's true. Can you help me? Like, yeah, so we decided to send this guy called Arbel. Yeah, he can't lose. I may be a Yank, but I can and will be the biggest Kislev stan. Kislev. I miss.
Burn the bakery down to the ground.
No, don't burn the bakery down. That's us, and bears are greater than chaos. What about chaos bears? What about werebear? Mass bomb. Don't mass bomb to oh my goodness, man. Ruining everything again. Roof cupcake. I'm gonna bring you down. Don't wait. I'm gonna save you. Ah. They ascended. Nope, they're not ascended. No one's allowed to ascend. There we go. Okay, this is the correct chest plate piece. No, I'll get 3 bases. 1, 2, 3. Then I'll make 3 bodies. Then I can give them for bolt guns. And then the shoulder pads, the head, and the backpacks. Might get more of a conveyor belt sort of operation. Yeah. Green save. Stop putting people up there to land. Oh my goodness. Why do you like putting people up there to land? Do you just like making extra work for me? Hi Nathan, how you doing? We're not painting today, we're making little Night Lord models. Ascension has been completed. It's not the will of the cupcakes to be up there. And even if it is, the cupcakes don't know what's good for them. They want uppies, but no uppies. You don't. Once you get stuck up there, you gotta be like, oh no, I'm scared of heights. It's not safe up here. Then I have to bring you down, and then as soon as you go down, you want to go back up again. Like, no, we're other people. Don't be a communist red sort. What do you mean a red sort? No. We don't live in a democracy. Cuptopia is an autocracy where I am in charge and I make the rules and decide what's good. That's so funny because last night as we're talking to ourselves, we were just talking about that part where Conrad has that talk with a woman who was going to commit boop for stuff. You forgot your mustache, Mr. What you on about? I'm not purging anybody. I'm not purging anyone. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just trying to keep things safe and sanitary and happy. We live in a society. Yes, a society run by me. And you better count yourself lucky for getting to live in it. Oh, I forgot to buy some stuff. And drill. And a new paintbrush. When I was buying for models. Oh, yeah. Sanitary and take a shower. Smelly hag. Why are you calling me smelly? I guarantee people would say if a Batman could still beat up Conrad Kurz. To be fair, he probably could. Conrad Kurz could be beaten up by someone's bad breath. Yeah. You could get beaten up by a baby in a toga. Conrad sucks. Not even his Night Lords are like Conrad. Like so many other traitors. I have no faith in DC. Hey, the new Batman film, not Batman, Superman film looks so fun. It's so fun. And they made Edward Cullen Batman, and it was such a good idea. I'm so excited for a new Superman. You have no idea. I'm actually thinking about going out and having to touch grass and seeing it. Although I am a bit scared about going out. That's because Disney owns both of them. Disney does not own DC Comics. DC Comics is owned by Warner Bros. Or at least the film rights are owned by Warner Bros. Who are the people who own Looney Tunes. Very different people. Two different distinct groups. Thunderbolts is fun too. Yeah, Thunderbolts. I've heard Thunderbolts is fun. I have to wait for it to come to streaming services for it. So Henry Cavill was the best Superman beside Christopher Reeves. Yeah, the new Superman film looks very heavily inspired by the Christopher Reeves films. So I'm like, ooh. And Henry Cavill was a good Superman. I enjoyed Snyder's stuff to some extent. But I am super excited for this new stuff. I'm like, yeah. Although, to be quite frank, when it comes to the comic books, I've also lost faith in a lot of DC and Marvel stuff because of comic books. Honestly, I feel like more and more of the comic books just suck. Not all of them, but DC is owned by Warner Bros., not Disney yet. Girl, what are you smoking? Literally 40k evil Batman. Once gave both Lionel and Robo Girly Man a run for the money at the same time. Nah, lies. That's just all propaganda made by Kurz. Conjuror going out. This is serious. It's serious. It's true. She'd burst into flames as she went outside. It'll be night time, so the sunlight won't be too bad. This also happens when she enters the church. No, the church sets on fire. I tell you about the time I walked into a church and the church just burst into flames. I did. I can't even remember why I had to go to the church at the time. I ain't had to go there for some reason, but I just remember walking into there. And it's because, you know, churches have candles and stuff. And it's like, it's just almost the exact same time as I'm like having to walk into the surface. It was in a quiet mode, and the doors go, and everyone's looking at me. I'm like, and then suddenly it's like, fire, there's a fire. You thought it doesn't make it easy, probably no. No, I think it was just something for like, I had to pick up something from there because the church was doing. But I don't know. The people at the church were working with us on something. But four. Okay, so I now need for number 3. I need the number 3, 3, I need the number 3, 3, that's the number 5, I need a number 3, there. Yeah, don't trust me to walk into anywhere. Maybe I need 5. Ooh. Ooh, 5. It's here. You stinky. You stinky. Not stinky. There we go. No. I know I was to pick up something. Talk to someone. As it did. But what am I doing now? I'm setting stuff on fire. Hey yo! I got a bug! My arm fell off. My arm fell off! Now, how is everyone doing? Oh yeah, I'm super excited for a new Superman. It's got Nathan Fillion in it. And he's playing, oh, what's his name? The stupid guy. Guy Gardner. Yeah, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner's going to be great. Nathan Fillion already voiced Hal Jordan before. Just a flesh wound. Just a flesh wound. I'm also super excited for... I'm super excited for a new DLC, but I don't have high hopes for it, if I'm entirely honest, based on what they last showed at the Skulls event. And the video they did afterwards. In part because I think it'll be great for Slaanesh. Like the last Khorne update and the Nurgle updates were both great. And they perhaps went a bit too far. So I think Slaanesh is going to also be really good. I've been really focused on all the Slaaneshi advertising. And there's just a lot you can do with it. There's a lot of stuff you can do with Slaanesh. They've not gotten a lot of Slaanesh stuff at the moment. And we're going to get a Fee Lord as well. And I think we're getting a new Cinch Lord soon as well. They said that they're going to be releasing a... They're going to do an update to the... to rework of Cinch, aren't they, soon? That's what they said. I think it might be coming with the next update. There's going to be a rework of Cinch. They're going to be releasing a Cinch Free Lord as well. Because when they released the Cinch DLC, Shadows of Change or whatever, they didn't release a new Lord with them, but they did for Nurgle and Khorne, and they're going to do it for Slaanesh. Yeah. Hi, Sir Honey Rose. You're home alone. How's everything going? Everything's going okay-ish. Okay-ish is the best way. We're giving these guys bolt guns right now. Yeah, I'm gonna use this arm. I think they're also gonna get a rework for Cinch in the next big update. I will promise a slight update to the car mechanics. I thought it was more than a slight update for promise, like a proper rework like Slaanesh and Khorne got. Well, not Slaanesh is going to get, Khorne and Nurgle got. Although I guess Nurgle was more just of an... Actually, no, they completely redid how the plagues work, I believe. Well, almost completely. And for Free Lord, they had his own proper mechanics and stuff, which was really fun. Epidermis. I've still not played Epidermis. We need to at some point. But I have seen him and like looked up him. Oh darn it! What piece was that? 59. Okay. I just need to know what arm I need to use. 59, 58. Okay, here we go. Epidermis is focused on spreading a lot to plagues. Yeah, it does make him a bit weak because plagues, especially at higher difficulties, aren't all that great against, you know, factions. Because one of the big things that the AI has a resistance to is attrition on higher difficulties. And this means that when you take more attrition, they take less. So playing a faction that a significant part of its core mechanic is giving somebody attrition is not very useful. Because, so plagues, one of the main things about plagues is it forces attrition onto the enemy. And one of the main things about causing corrupted terrain is the fact that you do cause attrition, which makes chaos and vampires a lot weaker on higher difficulties. Compared to if you just decided to play Empire instead. Although it does make Vampire faction more dangerous on higher difficulties, like if the AI is playing them. Because on lower difficulties, the vampires take attrition from almost everything. And as a result, the AI will just walk around taking attrition damage and just dying off, while on higher difficulties, that attrition damage is effectively meaningless. Hi, Sosimus! Are you excited for a Dark Heresy game? Not really, because I've not played Rogue Trader. I'm not really sure if I ever will. Original RPG was memes of being ridiculous, grimdark, and difficult to a point that it could regularly result in total party kills. Ooh, that could be fun. I never knew it had an original game. But yeah, it's similar to the previous one where it's just super meme-worthy and like high difficulty. I'd be tempted to play it. Especially if it's more roguelike in its development. Because there's not very many good roguelike games of Warhammer for a moment. I saw one of them, but it had very poor reviews. Like maybe it's just because Warhammer fans aren't very into roguelikes. Okay, I think I was 23. I just cut off. I think. Okay, 24 or 22. One of those hands should be fine. There we go, 24. But yeah, my hopes aren't super high for the new Total War 3 thing. Partly because I mostly want them to do a major rework of Norska. I'm not sure how willing they would be for it. Like with Thrones of Decay, we got a decent rework for Nurgle, for the Plagues. We got a really good upgrade for Empire, and a really good mechanics for... I say really good, they kind of copy and pasted a bit from Ikik Law. But still, really good mechanics for Elisif. And we got a really nice...
Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, and Total Warhammer 3 with Tomb Kings, and Vampire Coast DLC.
Oh goodness, that's a lot of stuff. I'm glad you bought some stuff that you're happy. I hope you have fun with them. I hope you have fun with them. I recently bought a few games. I bought the Grey Knights XCOM game that people were recommending me to get because it was cheap. I got the game that we're going to be playing tomorrow for Dakar Squadron. And there was another game I got. I can't remember which one it was. We already said for add voice lines, change the models, and give both the existing Lord. I know, I just don't really... I don't have super high hopes for it still, though. Because... I mean, if they do it well... This might be one of the reasons they're taking forever with this DLC, though. Because with Thrones of Decay, they actually spent a long time on Thrones of Decay compared to the next DLC that came out, which was a bit more rushed. But with that, you had a total rework of the car mechanics for dwarves. 2 total reworks, ultimately, in a row. You had not only a significant update to the car mechanics of the Empire, but you had a bit of a rework for Carl fans and a full and total rework for Gelt. And top of that, you had a proper decent thing for Nurgle. This time round, we're expecting a rework for Slaanesh, an FOC Lord that has its own unique mechanics. We're expecting High Elves to get not only to come out with a DLC, but to have a new unique Lord with their own new unique mechanics, as well as every single High Elf Lord that doesn't yet have good mechanics, unique mechanics to get unique mechanics. And for those who do have unique mechanics that aren't that good, to get a complete rework of those mechanics and made actually better. That's what people expect and want from the High Elves. And on top of that, we're also apparently being told that we're getting a full rework for Norska, and the 2 Norskan Lords that we've got right now are going to get a full rework, as well as a... It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and either some of that work's not going to get done, some of it's not going to be good, or maybe this is why it's taking so long for the DLC and for being so quiet about it, because they've just got a hell of a lot to do on it. But yeah, the expectations are incredibly high for this DLC. I like... The amount of work that must be on it is insane, so I feel like we can't be getting everything. So I've got my hopes low. I'm still super excited, but I just don't want to get my hopes too high. 3 faction reworks is a lot of work. Hope it gathers interest. Yes. I have a question. Do you know what a Febi virus is? Not off the top of my head. BRB, I need to use a bathroom and the stream leg. Oh no! I hope there's not much stream work. The next DLC will break or make the rest of the game history, I believe. Oh no, because Thrones of Decay definitely saved the game. The next DLC, I don't think was bad, but it wasn't up to the standards of Throne of Decay. And as a result, it garnered some disappointment. But I think overall, it was still considered a good DLC, and it still sold quite well, as far as I'm aware. This DLC is back to a more narrative DLC. And it's reworking a long forgotten faction, which I think in itself is, you know, important. Leak showed they have planned 2 more DLC for this one and an End Times expansion. Yeah. To be honest, I hope that the game continues. Like, getting DLC for quite a while. Like, I'd rather get more DLC than a new Total War game, to be honest. As silly as that might sound. Which is not as much as we wanted, so I hope we get enough support for our second wind. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. Because there's still a lot of things that I feel like need reworking and so on. You've also got to realise that usually I don't think they plan too many DLC ahead. So... I don't know. Doctor voiceover was hired like 5 years ago, was it? Oof, gosh. Are you sure she's done none of it? Has she not done any of the other voice acting in the game? The voice actress. How the Tainted Grail is? Not heard much about Tainted Grail. Is only credited for Doutra de Cala. Ooh, I never knew that. Okay, maybe they do have stuff then. It depends how big the DLCs are. Because I don't know what the next DLCs will be. We know that we got a Dogs of War DLC. And from what I've seen of the Dogs of War DLC, it's not just Dogs of War, it's very much Southern Realms. A character from Estalia is in it, and a character for Tilia is in it. So it's very possible that with the Dogs of War DLC, we might get a full Southern Realms release. So far, the DLC they've been doing is also 3 faction or 3 race DLC. With a 3 lord in each of them, and each of them also have major updates to other factions. Well, not just other factions, but major updates in total to the game. So 3 DLC themselves is enough to, and if we're willing to do a full rework of 3 different factions right now, hopefully future DLCs will do full reworks too, for the ones that still need it. Told you my theory, Omens had definitely moved for Slanesh DLC. I don't know, this Tainted Grail board game, I didn't realise it was a video game. I don't know much about it at all. Omens of Decay. Yeah, maybe. Hi, Pac-Man. I feel like this DLC is probably going to be of the same level of success that Thrones of Decay was. And if it is, it'll be good. I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping and believing that we're still going to get a Dogs of War DLC. There's nothing I've seen to suggest that we won't. I don't know what for Dogs of War...
Check the demo with Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon if you can. You'll probably like it since it's Arthurian fantasy.
Ooh, that sounds cool. I should try to. Oh, hi, Tony, by the way. I did say hi, Pac-Man. It's like Skyrim, but different. Ooh. Oh, wait, I know it. Is that called like Tainted Grail of Foud or something like that? Touted as a Skyrim killer, despite Skyrim being ancient. Like Skyrim, but heavily modded. No, I want to install my own mods. I already said hi.
You already hi to me, Cupcake.
Yeah. Why did you get 2 of them? It's not that big of a game either, 33 gigs. Ooh. It's still relatively big, but compared to a lot of games nowadays, that's positively tiny. You would install these mods and enjoy it. But it's tiny compared to Space Marine 2. Yeah. Took me ages to download Space Marine 2. not entirely sure where all that memory is going, but... You did play the original on the channel? What's this, sorry? I'm not sure if I will buy the remaster or not. The current Space Marine works fine on
Cupcakes, do not say such things.
40 gigabytes of goes to the Titus's body. Goes to his booty, sorry. Yeah, the thing about the remaster is it didn't look like it's changing enough for me to care. And the game works fine on PCs and can be streamed fine on PCs. I already played it on the channel. And it was relatively recently that we played it, so... I don't really feel the need to play the original game. To, you know, to get the remaster of it.
Mum, is T2's our father?
Is T2? Is Titus our father? No. No.
Cupcake, are you our mum?
No, I'm not your mother. I don't know why people keep calling me mother and old. Oh gosh, Talan's trying to break Cuptle. I'm just a cupcake. I'm just a cupcake. No, not just any cupcake. I'm the Cupcake Conjuror. Have you played Senua's Sacrifice, by the way? Possibly the only major game with a Scottish protagonist? Well, Pictish, actually. I have not heard of it. Pretty sure we've had Scottish protagonists in video games before. We've had Scottish video game developers do well. Rockstar, for example. They made Red Dead Redemption. And GTA. Well, they weren't Scottish characters. This is where you realise that all of the protagonists for GTA and Red Dead Redemption have actually been Scottish. They just hide the accent very, very well. Have you played Walking Dead games before? I've not. I've seen Let's Plays of them. Or at least, you know, the Telltale one. Not something I want to do, though. Demo Man.
Demoman. Hello, he's a legendary Scottish Cyclops.
Oh yeah, he's Scottish. He's Scottish. And an alcoholic. Have we not had a Highlander game? Wait, Highlander, why did I say Highlander? Braveheart! Braveheart game! Every single dwarf is also Scottish, this is well known. Strange mix. Strange mix of Hebrew, Norse, and Scottish.
Mum, can you dance like Ganon doing the suavemente?
What? I have no idea what any of that means. Ganon is the Zelda protagonist. Yeah, he's a protagonist, not the antagonist. That pesky Zelda. True villain of the story. What do you mean? Dwarves are Scottish? Now that I think of it, the dwarf accent is basically a Scottish one. Yeah, it's very similar to Scottish accent. Oh my goodness, some more speak of Scottish accents, some more Scottish my accent starts to go. Look, I am Scottish at heart. If I say at heart, DNA. Oh gosh, canvas everywhere. Ye Night Lords! Okay, here's a Night Lord. Here's a Night Lord commander. He's making stuff go splat in his power fist. And he's got a plasma pistol. And there's a World Eater at his feet. The plastic's slightly different colours. There's a Voice Eater. He eats voices. He's got a knife. He doesn't have a bolt pistol. And he's, you know, he's got a big old icon and a cool flaming jet backpack. Then you've got the Chainglaive dude. He's got the cool little Night Lord bat ears. Yee. And he's got a little knife there. Then we've got the guy with a power maul. The other cursed weapon. He's got a bolt pistol. Yee. I don't know the difference between Scottish and Irish accent. I'd say Irish accent is more sing-songy. Although it's not as sing-songy as Welsh accent. But Welsh, you basically have to just sing with every single word you got. Oh yeah, this guy's got a hood on. He's got a Night Lord hood on. And you got this Night Lord who's got, I just want a big old hug. He wants a big old hug. Oh. And then we got another guy with a hood and a skull helmet face. Can't really see the skull face very well. Yeah, there you go. He's got a big old heavy butt going. Love it.
You cupcake, no kisses.
You cupcake, no kisses. No, for kissing one another. For adorable. Then we got the plasma gunner. And look at that shoulder pad full of skulls. Full of skulls. And he's got a plasma gun and a little bayonet knife thing. And he's got tiny little horns in his head. Like pew pew pew. I always find it funny that Highlander had Scotland's most famous actor in it, and they made him play a Spaniard rather than a Scottish protagonist, who is played by an American. Oh. Yeah, Highlander confuses me. Oh my goodness, I think we got a bolt gun guy, and he's got the proper Night Lord bat ears on. He's like, doo, 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 doo. I got a gun. Do, 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 do. I'm thinking for the cinching ones, I'm going to paint them proper Night Lord colours. And then I'm going to go over them again with like very light blue highlights, electric-y blue. Like this guy's got a bunch of cloth on him that's hanging over his arm as he's getting ready to shoot you. And he's got horns on his head. And this guy has the proper Night Lord ears again. Proper Night Lord shoulder pad. Oops, dropped. Oh yeah, this one's got like a skull with a horn going out.
How do you feel about Sean Connery being your most famous actor?
Sean Connery is not the most famous actor. It's the guy, I forgot his name. What did he do? He played, do you know, he played the dwarf. He played the dwarf in the Hobbit film. You know which one it was? Referred to the Battle of Five Armies. He played for the Dwarven King, who wanted to attack the mountain, and he rode around. He rode a big old goat. Was it a goat or was it a boar? He rode something. And he fired for twirly whirlies. He fired for twirly whirlies. Bill Connolly, yeah, Billy Connolly. Oh, I love Billy Connolly. He's hilarious. Yeah, Bill Connolly, he's got to be the most famous Scotsman. My brother loves Sean Connery, though, because my brother loves James Bond. I don't know how to feel about that. How do you feel about having to know that Korn has a life in canon now? Korn doesn't have a life in... Actually, no, Korn has a mini lives in canon. By the way, are the Orkney Islands considered to be a part of Scotland or their own thing? I think most Scottish people feel them as part of Scotland. But they certainly have a history that's separate from Scotland. When you mentioned the dwarf from Lord of the Rings, I was thinking of John Rhys Davies, but he's Welsh. Oh yeah. Hi Bug! You're late again. You're late! But Orkney Islands definitely have their own history. But much of Scotland's own history, especially its pre-Roman history, is very closely connected to Orkney. There's actually a Scottish documentary series about the likes of Stonehenge and the other standing stones that appear around Great Britain. It's cute when Mom starts speaking with a native accent. I always speak with a native accent. It just vanishes. Also, why has your accent suddenly gotten a lot thicker? I don't know. I don't know. As an Aussie, I have no bloody idea what you're talking about. I have no idea either. But no, there's a documentary series. I can't remember what it's called, but it's mostly about the standing stones of Great Britain. And predominantly it's about Scotland and the Orkney Islands. And I think one of the oldest standing stone circles that they ever found. It was found in Scotland, mainland Scotland, to the north. I believe it was originally, they realised that the stones were originally from the Orkney Isles, and they believe it was a standing stone in Orkney, and then was brought over to mainland Scotland. And they believe it might have the standing stones in Britain might have originated from around those areas. It's very interesting history. But the weather over around those areas is so incredibly harsh. Like, it gets incredibly windy. I believe it gets to hurricane and gale force winds in those areas because it's all on the open sea. A lot of it. It's a lot of hills, a lot of very sheer cliff faces, and a lot of the land has already fallen into the sea since humanity was there originally. Since humanity, since the original inhabitants and so on were there, so a lot of our archaeological stuff has been lost. But equally, as we've been using scanning devices to scan the areas, it's we found a lot more underground hovels and stuff, which has been very interesting. But yeah, the entire documentary series is quite interesting.
Was like us, damn few, and they're all jade.
We all did. We all died. Yes, Taylor. Oh, goodness. But yeah, we got 10. We got 10 of these guys built now. It's nice. Guess who's back, baby? Hi, BA Gaming. Do you want a body? Do you want a random hanging body? I got one for you. You can have it. Here you go. Pick it. Apparently, Steno's sacrifice takes place in the last days of the Pictish kingdom, and the polity was destroyed by Viking invasions. After that, the area was shared by Norse and the Scotai. Yeah, Scotland's history is very weird. And one of the weirdest things about it is, speaking to Scottish nationalists, who are Scotland's great, Scotland this and Scotland that, is okay, by Scotland, you know that you hate the English, yeah, but what about the Norwegians and the Danes and, the Scotai? It's wait, so do you like the Picts? Do you like the Celts? What about the Scots? It's you realise all of these were different invaders except for Picts. Even the Picts were technically invaders. I think they recently found out that the oldest native inhabitants of Britain were like what is considered the original natives before what we would generally consider like the first Britons or the first Picts or whatever came in. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, they might have been black. And they're like completely different from like the Picts and stuff, so it's very interesting looking at the history. But then another group came in afterwards, like from Europe. And I think that group itself might have then been displaced by another group. But this is like going back to like ancient when everyone was still nomadic and before we settled down into farming. They believed for a while that the first people who lived in Britain had become cannibals. And like cannibalistic cults, but we think maybe that's not true anymore with more investigations. I've already got the guy who's, I think he's got like the Cheddar Gorge or whatever, but we think that he's not actually that related to us, and that he was then replaced by people who originally, it's very weird. Britain's been invaded so many times by different groups. Oh, we Scottish is not invaders. We were the fair first. That dude he does just like to hang out. Don't worry, he's a Slaanesh. This guy's just from the Slaaneshi cult. This guy's from the Sitchin cult. Everyone in Europe is descended from steppe nomad invaders who destroyed the early European farmers. There's a lot of different theories at the moment, and there's a lot of contradicting evidence and stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of the evidence and stuff is having to be... It's constantly being... Because a lot of old stuff and old theories come back from very poorly researched stuff by like Victorian-aged archaeologists and stuff, who came up with all sorts of crazy ideas that were just accepted as the norm, and it wasn't really until the 60s that we started questioning it in any serious account. My computer broke and I couldn't get my account back for ages. Oh no! Well, I'm glad you got your account back. And he said, is your computer fixed? Do you have a new computer? One early group of people of the British Isles are the Beaker people. They built Stonehenge and other circles. The Celts replaced them, I think. Yeah! Don't ask me. I've not got a good timeline of events in my head. I'm not very good at timelines. Maybe I should do a stream. I got it fixed again. Yeah! I'm glad your computer's fixed now. I hope it's working well, since I have Polish heritage. I might be part Mongolian, since I have Polish heritage. Oh, maybe. Although Poland never got fully invaded by the Mongols. By the Mongolian Empire. It only got partially invaded. And a lot of the Polish people, because the Mongolians struggled a lot with the Polish fortresses and major cities, a lot of the Polish population actually managed to survive. Well, not only survive, but, you know, not be too damaged by the Mongolian invasion effectively. As far as I'm aware, there was a lot of, like, moving to the west as it came in, and then they counterattacked and pushed the Mongolians back again, and then the Mongolians invaded again, and that second invasion did not go anywhere near as well. But before that was definitely a lot of steppes people moved into Eastern Europe quite heavily, and a lot of Turkish people too, or Turkic. So a lot of Turkic, a lot of steppes people. I also believe there was a massive migration from the Middle East at some point, of like a large amount of people, Hebrew people, into those certain areas. There's a lot of migrations of people, especially by the time you start getting into the Middle Ages, and what's even more migrations of Eastern Europe. Pog. I got a stream us learning history. Wow, wow. Yeah, if I was doing a proper history stream, I'd definitely have to get all my research in order beforehand. Rather than, because I know that I am not good at remembering dates and facts off the top of my head. It's one of the reasons why I never went forward with trying to do history. Because I always struggled in the exams, because I always ended up misremembering dates and names and stuff. And getting things confused in my head about when and where things happened. I think a Mongol invasion of Europe stopped because Genghis died and all the generals had to return. That's part, I think that's part of the reason, but if we look at it before then, there's a number of things that showed the Mongolian invasion was slowing down anyway. I believe that, although this might just be European propaganda, that his pushes into Europe actually came with quite significant costs. I can't remember his name. Oh, what's his name? His famous general. He like did almost everything that's attributed to the Great Khan. A lot of it actually came from one of his amazing generals, who was the one who also attacked into Europe. But yeah, he led an attack, and it did go rather well. But he had a number of issues. One was swampland. That was not for. As he got further into Europe, he came across more swampland, which was not good for horses. Especially horse archers. The other issue he had was the lack of arable grassland to feed for horses. Because the main thing about their horse armies is that they required a large areas so they could graze, and there was not a lot of grazing land as he moved into Europe. And then adding the rivers and the natural defences in the area, especially the heavily fortified fortresses of Europe on top of it, and the lack of additional resources they needed to come for to do a proper invasion of Europe like they had in the Middle East. It made it very difficult and slowed them down heavily. Then Genghis Khan died, and the main general in charge had to leave, in which by that point European once again counterattacked. When they did the second invasion of Europe, it did not go anywhere near as well. In part because this time round, the Europeans were actually much better prepared and took the threat much more seriously. Whereas when they originally came, it was often whoever was getting attacked was left to fend for themselves because the threat wasn't taken seriously enough. But then when like Poland and stuff like almost completely fell, they were like, oh, we gotta do stuff. But even then, Poland still struggled to get the support it needed to actually defend itself from this massive empire. And as much as we like this claim that it's like, yeah, the second invasion just was defeated easily, it wasn't defeated easily. It was like defeated at great cost. But yeah, Genghis Khan. Very interesting history. What time is it? I should probably be making big base. I've decided I'm going to turn these 5 dudes we've got currently into haffocks. These other legionnaires. So I'm going to build, I think, monkey. No, monkeys are evil. Monkeys are evil. No, I've had to fight monkeys in Monster Hunter Wilds now, and it's scary. I don't like it. It's not fun. Okay, Power Fist, Plasma Gun. Wait, why are you under the flame? I know, take a Plasma Gun. There we go. Right, is that what I want to give you? Maybe a Melter Gun. Nurgle sustained hit. Nah, Plasma Gun. I'm too eepy for history lessons, but this is interesting. No, go to sleep, Malamar. You need sleep. Yeah. Okay, where's the Plasma Gun on this spoo? Because a lead of a Havoc squad needs a Plasma Gun. Okay, 75. And he can have a power fist. We're gonna check on Warpedia if they can have a power fist. Perfect squad. Warpedia. Warpedia. Okay, 40k. Chaos. Okay, wait. There we go. Half it. Continue with recommended cookies. Okay. Havoc Champion's Flame can be placed with one of the following: Bolt Gun, Melter Gun, Plasma Gun, Plasma Pistol, a Cursed Weapon, Power Fist. Any number of Havoc. A Havoc Champion's Chainsword can be placed with Cursed Weapon, Power Fist. Okay, so I can have a Plasma Gun and a Power Fist. Yeah. Just making sure. Okay, that means I need to figure out how to hold this in one hand. Let's just move this guy here. Let's just carefully trim away the hand. Yeah. I should not be talking about history though when... It's also been too long since I last researched these things. My hands are too shaky for this. Yeah, I struggle with shaky hands too. Thankfully I have ways of like keeping my hands relatively still. Mostly I need to definitely keep my... I found trying to keep my wrists from moving at all and instead putting all the movement into my elbows helps. I actually learned that when I was trying to draw straight lines and I couldn't for the life of me do it. Like I had to have my stabilization on super high. For digital art. Also, putting my mouse on the highest DPS ever helped me learn to keep my hands a bit less shaky. Like, do you want to know? Can I actually show how high the DPS is on my mouse? Like, this is how much I move my mouse. There you go. I go here. You can see how little I move my mouse actually to do pretty much anything. Like, like yeah. That's wild. Yeah, I just like having. Like, if I bring it all the way over here. Hold on, how can I bring that? There you go, so you can see a bit more. Oh, this is just another excuse to go to the website. What do I want to do on the website? Do I want to buy some stuff? Do I want to buy some Warhammer? No. Is there anything new here? Is there something we want to look at? Oh yeah, we didn't look at these guys properly. New deep... Oh, look at that eel. Poor eel. Look at that fish. That fish is like, oh my gosh, what's happening to me? Oh look, he's got cool stats. Oh, like a Visca. Oh, it's the same model, effectively. Just different dude on top. Deepkin are cool. I never thought increasing mouse sensitivity is a good way to train with shaking hands. Yeah. Also, I don't like moving my hands a lot when I'm doing, what's it called? Also, I've got a weighted mouse. If I open up my mouse, it's got a bunch of weights in to make it heavier, so... My hand shaking usually... The main issue I have with my hand shaking is not it going to the wrong place, but usually I accidentally press one of the buttons on it I didn't want to press. I sometimes see this when I'm playing a game, I'm like, oh, oops. I grenaded by accident. Those expensive plastic models, yay! Those good old plastic models, darn weighted mouse. She's got buff hands, no. Oh. I don't like having to move my mouse a lot when I'm, what's it called, at the computer. That's when I was doing art, and like especially my manga a lot. Is because I've get joint pain and stuff in my fingers. It got really bad when I was doing my manga. Because that's like me working with very fine tools for many hours a day. It got very bad, so I was like, you know, I'm just going to get my mouse, high DPS, don't have to move at all to play games. Okay, how is this looking? Okay, curve out this area. Here we go. That works. And then a little bit more here. Then I can carve in the lines that need to be carved in. Head hat, thank you. Oh, don't worry about it. Main issue I find with shake your hands is trying to paint details. Oh my goodness. Trying to paint details is difficult. Okay, now power fist. Power fist. Where's the power fist? Power, power, power fist. Power, power, power fist. I want a power fist. One of these is a power fist, right? There it is. Here. And it's peace. 92. If you remember from last time, the piece that actually went with a power fist did not have a similar number. Or close number. But it was... Which kit Veritas? That arm went it? Yeah, 111 was the arm that went with it. Yeah, there we go. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, power first. And then... what do I want with him? Go for a set of legs. Which set of legs do I want to go for? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a you. I want to go for leg set 10. Oh, clean up. There we go. I need to eat. Yeah, get to sleep, you silly person. Is this a part of history like the Warhammer robot first entered Poland after the computer mice went from rubber board to laser type? What? I'm so confused, Peter. I'm so confused. Okay, 11. There we go, piece number 11. There's a rubber ball. Okay, 64, 12. Oops, I dropped. Ah, it fell on my foot. I dropped my bat. Your heart's beating fast. Old mice had a ball inside. Old mice had a ball inside. Inside what? Inside the hearts? Ooh, sorry, just being silly about history, real, including Warhammer stuff. I don't believe that. I don't really understand it. Don't be sorry. It's fine. Okay. We got for power fist. Fish power fist can be down like here. Or maybe down back there, wiping his butt. Oh, you can put it down there. Yeah. And then, what orb do we want to go for? Yeah, computer mice used to have a sort of tracker ball inside. Oh, the computer mice did. I forgot. I was thinking like a little mouse. Computer mice used to have a sort of track instead of an optical sensor. Oh, the computer mouse went from rubber ball to laser type. Ah. I am a silly person. I am very silly. I apologize. Okay, this arm looks like it will be fun. Yeah, one-handed plasma gun. Oh, if it overheats, you only lose one hand, not two hands. The way that plasma guns overheat now, the idea is it kills a person or seriously injures a person who was using the gun, but the gun is still workable. So the next person can just pick it up. I find that funny. I just like imagine this giant explosion of plasma, like a miniature nuke / sun going off in the middle of your squad. And then the person who was holding the gun is just like turned completely to ash. They don't even exist anymore. But in the middle of a crate, the gun's still there, fine, in perfect condition, despite it being the source of a massive explosion. But yeah, there we go. Look at it go. Plasma gun. Plasma gun. We love a plasma gun. Yeah, the leader of the Havoc squad is armed with a full-on rifle, plasma rifle, as well as a power fist. Havoc squads are like heavy weapon squads, by the way. Okay, what head do I want to go for, though? Are there any unhelmeted heads in the kit? Not really. Some kind of look unhelmeted, but not really. I'd definitely go with a Night Lord head then. Ugh. Oh wait, can I give him the cape? I wonder. Maybe that'll be fun. The cape, the cape, the cape. Which one is the cape? You're the cape. Oh, it goes on the back of a backpack. Oh, I understand how it works. I thought it would be like the Black Templar cape where it goes under the backpack, but instead it goes on the back of it. So we take one of these ones like that. I have a big hole in the back. And we put that there. Yeah, it looks like that. Okay. That's cool. Then you go. So we've got one squad of Night Lords built. That's our first Chaos Marine squad. Pretty expensive squad. It's like 190 points in game. It's a very powerful squad because it gets a stealth ability, so you get -1 to heat hits over 12 inches of range. And what else does it do? It's on a 2+. Yeah, they also get +1 to wound if the enemy's below starting strength. So, like, they've lost their dude, or they've lost some wounds. And they are at +1 to wound if they're below half strength. The enemy is below half strength. The target of their attacks. That means over half a squad is dead. Or half the wounds are lost. On top of this, these voice eaters can remove... You can use stratagems usually, which are like special abilities that cost command points, and you get 1 per turn usually. And they can stop anyone close by from using such stratagems. It's like, oh... Actually a very, very good squad. And they've got... They can have heavy weapons, special weapons, and a lot of melee. Really good melee weapons. Like this chainsaw gets like... It's almost as strong as a power fist, but it's only damage 1 compared to a power fist damage 2. But it gets an extra attack and it gets sustained hits. So you can get even more hits as it's just chaining for you. Like, oh! And they can get lightning claws, which are called dual accursed weapons. Or paired accursed weapons like this, which just want big old hugs. Oh no, right to his face. That's where you get for taking up. But look at this guy. Look how cool he is. He's got a big old cape on. And he's shooting you one-handed with a rifle. And he's got a power fist too. I should probably put... Do I have any of the trophies? Just give me a moment. Give me a moment. We can put skulls on his base. Do you think there's such thing as demon skulls? Putting demon skulls on his base might be a fun idea. Like anything looks very carnate here. Tyranid stuff, Eldar stuff, Tau stuff. Yeah, I'll get a couple of cultist skulls out because they've got little horns on them. Decorate him with them. But if you don't know, the story of my Light Lords is that these guys are hunting down World Eaters. Well, specific World Eater warband anyway. That they are not happy with. I almost fell to the floor then. Didn't want to try like going for it just in case it knocks everything over. I'm thinking if I carve away the back of this guy's skull, I can put him onto the model. Dropping these parts. I miss when mouses used to have those rubber balls. Nowadays the ball market is cornered by avocados. To learn, avocados cannot be used as computer mice. For the last time, is that why it took you so long to get back here? You were like, why would the mouse move and you had an avocado in hand? I never even knew you could afford avocados. You stole an avocado, didn't you? And you're going to tell me, no, you didn't. You stole a computer mouse. And I'm going to tell you, it was an avocado. That's why it won't work. Did you just call me a dyslexic micro machine? I'm not a micro machine. At most, I'm a microwave, you silly egg. No, I can't do dyslexic micro machine. Yeah, that's what I said. Oh, darn it. I need like tweezers or something. Okay, pick this up. Grab, grab, grab. There we go. Gotta be very careful not to cut through it. But also to hold it hard enough it won't let go. Okay, it's not fitting under his foot. That's fine. Da 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 da. Boop a doop a doo. Doo 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 doo. Doo 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 doo. Doo 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 doo. Oh, so you didn't play into the joke at all. That's sad. That's me. I sneezed. You didn't play into my joke at all. I did. Perfectly. The only way a dyslexic knows how. Yee. What do you think of my dude, by the way, though? Look, he's got a plasma gun. He's shooting you. It blew up because he failed his hazard check. Let's think. Let's think. Will he fail his hazard check? Okay. He's going to put it into full shooty mode and he's going to shoot at you. Twice. And he hits some threes. He hit twice. His strength 8. 3 wounds and 2s. Oh, 1 failed to wound. Would he succeed a dodge save? Yeah. Ah! Ow. It was a heart, it's fine, it did no damage. It healed me. And then you get your 5+ save. Oh, you failed. Haha! And then he gets a hazard save. Hazard check. He just about passed. Next turn he does the same. He hits twice. He wounds twice. He gets 1 more wounding. And then he takes his hazard check. He passes. Next turn, he misses once. He wounds once. And the save is failed. He's doing lots of damage. Okay, but a hazard check. He's fine. He's fine. But he gets 2 more shots in. He wounds twice. Oh, one of them saved. But hazard check. Would he fail? No, he can never fail his hazard. Okay, never mind. He failed his hazard check. And that means he explodes! And dies. Oh. Would he actually die from a failed hazard check, though? I can't remember. Does a failed hazard check, like, cause 2 damage or D3 damage, or is it just 1 damage? I know it's like it causes mortal wounds, though. I know that much. Or is it just it removes 1 model from the unit that fails? No, it wouldn't be, because vehicles have hazard checks. Why is exploding his gun? Yeah! If you fire a plasma gun and you overheat it or you overcharge it or whatever, you have to take a hazard check. Which is roll a dice. On a 1, you fail and your gun explodes. Or it overheats. Let's check. Let's check. Oh, got notifications. Milkshake Games. It's fine. Okay, nice stuff. I want to know. I want to know. Core rules and indexes. Core rules. Here we go. Rules of the game. This is how you find the rules of the game, by the way. You don't need to buy a big old rule book. And if we go down, one of these will be, here we go. Blast, indirect fire, precision, heavy, melter. Hazardous, here we go. Weapons with hazardous. Each time the unit is selected to shoot off fire, if one or more of the models attack with hazardous weapons, then after the unit has resolved all of its attacks, you must take one hazardous test for each hazardous weapon that was just used by rolling a d6. For each one, the test is failed, and one model in that unit equipped with a hazard weapon is destroyed, selected by a controlling player, unless that model is a character, monster, or vehicle, in which case it suffers 3 mortal wounds instead. Mortal wounds do not allow armor or invulnerable saves, but you can choose to take feel no pain saves if you do have access to them. Note that if you select a character model in an attached unit, the mortal wounds suffered must be allocated to that model first, even if there's another model in that unit that has lost 1 or more wounds. That's cool to know. That's cool to know. I personally don't agree with radiation poisoning. You held a rock and now you feel bad? Grow up. Okay, but what I'm imagining now, based on that thing, is if your character has like a plasma pistol or whatever, and you overheat it and it burns up, but you're in a unit, what that means, if he's got an attached bodyguard unit, he can just like throw the plasma gun. It's like, oh my gosh, it's about to overheat. He just throws it to somebody else and they just instantly burn to death. And then he picks it back up and starts shooting again. And as soon as it starts overheating, he just throws it to somebody else again. It's like, take this. Wait, is that... Imagine if a commissar executed people like that. Like, he's just shooting his plasma going doof, 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 doof. And when it's starting to overheat, it's like, Jerry, I said your punishment for cowardice was going to come eventually. He's like, yes. Here, catch this. It's like, what? Jerry, like, the plasma gun just explodes into a sun. Jerry gets disintegrated. And they put in the center of, like, this crater is just a plasma gun, and the commissar picks it back up, starts shooting again. Either that, or he just, like, gives it to somebody, goes, yeah, I do not trust this plasma gun. Whoever works at, the department of munitions really doesn't like me and gave me a faulty plasma gun. And since you've been tried for cowardice before, yeah. Your punishment is firing my gun at the enemies. If a gun explodes, just don't. Yeah, it's a gun that exploded, not you. Why are you dying? I think it's meant to represent that the plasma gun immediately, like when it gets too hot, it's tough enough to survive a certain temperature. So what it does, it vents all the heat out before it gets to that temperature. So you just end up with steam and plasma everywhere. But the plasma gun itself is easily capable of surviving that. The issue is that a person with a plasma gun isn't capable of surviving that. So a plasma gun is actually fine. It's just everything around the plasma gun is destroyed. That's how I imagine it now. Before, it used to be that if a plasma gun died, it's a unit with the model with the plasma gun takes a damage or dies. And you couldn't just replace it. You couldn't be like, okay, I'm picking up the plasma gun. The explanation was, there's no plasma gun to pick up anymore. It's overheated, it's melted, it killed its user. You could try picking it up, but it's just going to be a radioactive hunk of metal on the ground. Of misshapen, malformed metal. Now the idea is the plasma gun is fine, it's a wielder that isn't. Oh, it's very silly. They have been doing a lot of work to try and make the tabletop match the lore a lot more than it used to. But there's just so many times where you just see something like that, where it's like, okay, so if a character... So it makes sense. In a squad, if a guy with a plasma gun dies, another squad member will pick it up. But that means if your character joins a squad and he has a plasma gun, and his plasma gun overheats, it's a member of the squad that dies. Meaning he either gave a weapon to the squad member to fire, knowing that it will probably kill them, or as soon as it overheats, he just like threw it to somebody. Or if he did die, and then someone else in the squad just gets promoted to captain suddenly and gets all of the skills and like picks up his armor and equipment to just like, yep, it's me now. Did you consider this? Nerd! I'm not a nerd! Not a nerd! You know what? I should probably make another heavy bolter on a big old base of a Havoc squad because this guy's going to be siege. I don't have any other heavy... Actually, no, I do have 2 heavy bolters. If you shoot a gun, take the damage. That is his rule. But that's not how it works. $62. That is how Otalanus. Also the number for the legs I've got. I'm a silly. Oh, I'm a silly. Amadeus. Okay, big ol' axe. 62, 80, 63, there we go. 63. It's number 63. It could be a different number, but it won't be. Not today. Okay, is that fine? Amadeus. 64. Bang, bang, bang. Ba-da, 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 Now I save it. Yeah, I'm hoping that the new mechanics for Total War 3 for Norska. Now, if the weird thing is about it is if it gets in a Wii works, I don't know. The main thing about the DLC is I'm pretty sure the new update will be probably pretty good. Like, the Norscan characters are going to get a Wii work. It's very likely a bunch of high elf characters are going to get a Wii work. And all of this you won't need the DLCs for. Iceland will probably be pretty great because there's a lot of the missing units for high elves at the moment are very thematic with Iceland. Like you got the Merworm, you got the Admiral characters, you have the flying boat unit. All of them feel very thematic for him. So I imagine that DLC would be probably very popular. And he just sounds really cool. I imagine the Slaanesh part of the DLC would also probably be relatively popular because Snake Girls. But so far, what we've seen about the Norscan DLC, I'm not super impressed by. It's like Sail, the Faithless, is a pretty cool character. But I don't really care for him a hero. A Sorcerer Lord is pretty nice. And it's like a Chimera is nice to have for Chaos, but I just feel it's weird to have it being added with a Norscan DLC. I'm just wondering how many actual Norscan feeling units we're going to get with the DLC. I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping the rework's good for them too. Kind of just had you on in the background. How goes everything? Everything's going well. How about you, Anthony? You been lurking and working? Lurking and work. I love saying lurking and working if you've not realised. I just realised something. No soggy bottoms, I hope. Yeah, there's no soggy. Look at this guy. Look at this. The only soggy bottoms are foes who are going against him. Look, he's got a plasma gun in one. Not a pistol, a gun in one hand. A power fist in the other hand. Surrounded by skulls. Demonic skulls, rather. Got a cool fleshy cape. And he's got a big old base because he's in Havoc. If the High Elves are brought near in line with the Dwarves campaigns, I'll be very happy. I find it very hard to trust companies after what happened with D2, except from Fun. Well, it was D2, sorry. I don't trust any companies, not even FromSoft. Well, that being said, I'm not a big fan of Dark Souls, so... Destiny 2. Oh... Yeah, I would not just trust Destiny company from the very offset, to be honest. I definitely don't trust CA. I know some people blame Sega, other people blame Games Workshop and stuff like that, but to be quite frank, I've been playing Total War since Rome 1, or since I first discovered Rome 1. I don't think this goes here. And to be quite frank, CA's never really had my trust. It's like the games have always been very cookie cutter copied from one another. As soon as they started going into the digital medium, they immediately started doing DLCs with mechanics and stuff locked behind them and releasing games with barely any content in them. Like Rome 2, I was just like, what the hell? There's barely anything in this. How many why do I have to buy DLCs to get access to these basic races? Like, does this even add much into it? It's like, ugh. FromSoft or Valve are the only companies to trust because they actually earned it to every choice they make. Oh no, Valve has made some very questionable choices in the past, so... We don't trust Bungie, but they made Halo! He says, fully aware that old Bungie team is gutted from the current Bungie. Hey, don't forget that before Halo, there was another game series that Bungie made that as soon as Halo took off, they immediately just sacked into the ground and they scraped it for Halo content. Oh, what was it called? It began with an M, I think. You can actually still... I think the Halo symbol, do you know, the thing, it's actually not even from Halo originally. It's from the other game. Marathon, yeah, marathon. Don't trust companies. And they are redoing it, Marathon. They're remaking Marathon, they're bringing it back. They realised Halo ultimately failed. They're bringing back the GOAT. The GOAT! Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, no. I think if they are doing high elves, I think they'll give them a similar level of rework that the dwarves got. Because dwarves and high elves are both relatively popular races. I would have thought that orcs would have got more of a rework though. But I think orcs were already considered relatively powerful. They had a lot of races that are already moderately popular. I feel they didn't need to do a rework, despite how old the orcs were. Guess they've got a full-on rework though. And they're a new faction. And then they got even more updates afterwards. But yeah, high elves are popular. They're already pretty powerful. They just need to be... They just need more unique mechanics. So... I imagine it'll probably go well. Norskins I do worry about because while they are desperately in need of a rework and people are wanting it, it's a bit like Bretonia, Tomb Kings and stuff like that. Also, does Capcom not go into good old gaming companies catalogue? It's not got many pages at this point, it's more of a flyer. I don't think there's been a subpar Capcom game for Wild's PC release. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Because I don't know which games are Capcom. I know I've got a few Capcom games. I think the thing about Capcom though is that its games are all seem relatively niche. Like, they've got incredibly dedicated fans, but a lot of the games they make outside of a couple of them aren't super popular. None come to my mind at the very least. I'm not mistaken, it's about demonstrating that they've learned. I don't want to blackpeel and just say everything is doomed. I love video game culture. Because I think only negativity dilutes the effects of criticism. Yeah. Like, no, the thing is, it's like, I don't think if anything's doomed. I just, like, ultimately, if a big game company falls or fails, it will just get replaced. That's how it will go. Game companies are fully able to learn. Well, the thing is, we should never trust them because it's when we trust them that they start exploiting our trust. it's when we're still very wary of them that they want to earn our trust and they try, you know, doing stuff better. Like, they do stuff better, we're like, yay, they're fixed, they're good again, we're gonna back, we trust them, and then they screw you over, and then it's like, oh. So I'm a thing of, I won't really trust the game companies, but I'll hope they do better. I've only got game companies which I do like, but at the same time, they do screw you over sometimes, and for me, that's Paradox and CA. Creative Assembly, because I love a lot of the games they produce. I don't care too much that some of the games are very cutter of one another. Cookie cutter. But I do like a lot of the games. And sometimes they're very capable of being, you know, good companies, but sometimes they then screw you over a little, and it's like, oh, tasty map games. Stick first and the carrot, yeah. It's like one of the things I like about Paradox and CA, which I don't mind too much about for DLCs, at least with Warhammer and like Stellaris at the very least, and to a lesser extent CK3, it's that they release DLCs, but the DLCs are often accompanied by massive updates, and there's updates between those DLCs, and these rework a lot of the games. Like, they rework content, they remake stuff, and they also include a lot of free content, and it's the DLCs pay for this constant work on a game you love. Constant keeping it up to date with modern systems, and constant free content. You don't have to buy the DLCs. The DLCs don't have too much mechanics or stuff locked behind them, if anything. They just mostly have factions. And that's great. I love it when that happens. It's like, yeah, the DLCs can be very off-putting when you first want to get into the game, because there's just so much of it. But the fact is, you can be playing the game without buying any other DLCs, and you can still feel the benefit of it. Like, if you've been playing Warhammer 3 and you've not bought any of the DLCs so far, you've still got a Nurgle rework, you've still got an Orc rework, you've still got a new Nurgle character, you've still got a new Khorne character, you're going to get a new Slaanesh character, you're going to get a new Tzeentch character. There might be more new free characters along the way. Most of the big reworks have probably affected you, and I like that. And you've gotten a bunch of free units as you've gone along, and it's nice. Now, if only CA had a quality assurance department, so if they add new things, they don't break 5 things and unravel the last 3 updates. That's the same for Paradox. I personally think Paradox even worse for it, and they definitely have a QA side. It's I like FromSoft because they make what they love. Armored Core 6 compared to Elden Ring for previous world was a huge failure. They didn't make it to outsell or for numbers, they just made it. Was it a huge failure? I mean, compared to Elden Ring, yeah, but in terms of how much it sold, it was still a massive success. Like, I think it made its money back dramatically. As far as I'm aware, it did. You're also comparing to Dark Souls from FromSoft. Yeah, DS3 was killer. As I'm saying, it was a success, but for business folk, look at it backwards. Oh yeah, business folk in a lot of these companies absolutely suck. It's not just game companies, it's a lot of things. It's... They make decisions that, especially shareholders, they make some very stupid decisions that I don't understand. Like, yeah, of course that game is different. Like, they just seem to be focused on destroying the companies that they run or help run rather than actually, you know, helping maintain them. Like, I don't know who thinks it's a good idea. Oh no, the company's struggling. Oh, you know, wait. Oh no, our employees are overworked and they're struggling to keep up with the workload. You know what would be really good? Oh, you know what? Basically, if we just keep firing employees for some reason, it's like we're making loads of profit. We need to make that profit look bigger. So let's get rid of all our employees who helped us earn that profit. It's like, what? And it's like, oh no, we're now struggling to make money. Let's get rid of more employees. That will help us make money. It's like, how did that not help? Okay, you know what? Cut costs by cutting corners in all of our processes. Hire on an AI company. And hire on a bunch of temp staff from this other place. And it's like, what do you mean our security got compromised? What do you mean no one likes the new advertisements? What do you mean people are complaining that the product sucks? It's like, okay, let's just scrap the company and start again with a different company. Let's cut our... I say cut our losses. It's like, okay, we've made like £1 billion profit from them now. Let's just sell what remains of a company and move on. I hate that. I hate that. Just absolutely gutting and destroying companies and their reputations. Part of it is that some companies are dependent of a game doing well before it even started building. The amount of money going in. So it becomes less of a craft and more about predictions. Yeah, I guess so. The employee thing is a bit more complicated. It has a lot to do with the CVD bloat and middle management rot. So it depends. There's certain companies where that does exist, but then other companies it's... Because don't forget, they've been doing this since the 90s. Like, seriously, it's... Just look at some... I think actually things like Wolf of Wall Street actually showed us some of the things they did as well. But no, just pick up like some of these weird business books that they released in the 90s. Especially from some of the people that owned like a bunch of these companies that have gone bust now. And you will see that that's kind of what they've been doing. It became this thing of like, you go into a company, you take as much money out of a company as you can possibly get, completely gut it, and then sell it on. That's one of the things that you do. And the other is effectively manipulating numbers by effectively cutting back in as many areas as possible when you're doing well. None of these are sustainable, but none of it's really sustainable practices for keeping a business going long run. But it's all about maximizing short-term gains and profits. My mother works as an accountant in quite a few, and I actually worked as an accountant for one of them too. Where they had all this thing of maximize short-term gains over long-term profits, and it's just so unsustainable. And you try telling them this, and it's just, you just get punched in the face for it. And it's like, yeah, okay, your company's going to go bust in about 2 years if you don't do anything about it. It's like, what you on about? No, that's not true. Look how much profit I'm making. And it's like, yeah, but... and then once they do start losing that money, all of the things that they tried doing to fix it... Oh, I say not all the time, but a lot of these companies, it's just stupid. They don't do it very well. It's weird that they'd prioritise the shareholders and not the consumers, the people who ultimately give the shareholders their money. Well, it's not just shareholders. It's what they're doing is it's investors that they're really putting in. Unfortunately, companies are often legally required to prioritise the shareholders and dividends and profits rather than providing a good service or products. It's worse and face less competition, yeah. The best games are made by like 12 people in a shed. Why does the company now have 400 people? What are you lot doing? Oh no. I wouldn't agree with that necessarily. But what else is for prioritizing shareholders? Oh yeah, one of the things is that when it comes down to it, it's like I was looking at like how some of these businesses are run and why they're run that way, and it's about taxes ultimately. You want to avoid taxes. So, and the more profit you're making, the more taxes you have to be paying. So you ultimately want to be bringing in as much money as possible, so maximize your revenue, but create costs and assets and so on that reduce your overall profits. So you maximize revenue, but you want to reduce your taxes and stuff like that. And this means what you want to do is just continuously investing or whatever, or moving your money around. And this means you become overly reliant on investors. So that means you need investors if you want to continue moving your business forward and expanding. Instead of relying on your bank and your previous profits to keep your company going forward, you instead rely on your shareholders, investors, and so on to keep bailing you out and giving you the money that you need to keep going forward. And as a result, you want to prioritize their happiness so that they would keep giving you money. Which is weird. That's another reason some of these companies work like that. But a lot of it does come down to effectively get shareholders voting on stuff. And the shareholders ultimately just vote to basically maximize profits, which means doing a lot of bad business decisions that ultimately help. It's stupid. There's a lot of different reasons why companies end up run the way they are. I mean, that doesn't say that there's not incentive to like run your company properly in a good way. It's just that there's more incentive not to. Especially for like more selfish groups and so on. It's all very weird. It's all very... I don't like it. Companies are terrible. And then you end up with companies where effectively their entire business model is literally to continue having a loss and just rely on investors. Football companies. They're required and forced to serve shareholders and not customers. Most shareholders don't care about the product. It's true. It's true. Lots of people who buy shares without even thinking about what they're going into. So what you're saying is any gaming company would inevitably inflate beyond their capacity to maintain, keep going as investors pop them up and then they implode. Kind of. Not all game companies. I mean, look at Fowler, for example. But then you end up with companies like CA. I wouldn't say CA's never been amazing as a company goes. Like, the games are fun, but, I mean, they're very cookie cutter, as I said. But they ended up getting bought out by Sega. And it's similar to all these game companies that got bought out by Microsoft and stuff like that. In which you end up having different ideas of what they class as successes. And what they want to get out of the companies and stuff. Sega's not the worst owner of game companies because it really understands what being a game company is in the first place. This being said, it doesn't mean that they don't do questionable decisions of the companies. Microsoft, on the other hand, is much, much worse. Because while in a way it is a game company, at its core is not a game company. And they don't really understand or really care about the games themselves. And for customers and everything like that. So they have a habit of completely gutting game companies they take over. CA makes a lot of silly mistakes, i.e. sieges. Some of that has always been limitations of the engine, which honestly could be improved, but so could most game engines. Like, I actually, on Friday, I kind of want to go through, like, sieges in my favourite games and like show you the differences between them and the bad and good. Like Rome 1 has some amazing sieges, but can also be so super annoying because wall pathfinding absolutely sucks. They cannot pathfind on walls. Fighting over the center absolutely sucks because it ends up with units will stop the charge at the very last moment and start forming a conga line as soon as you get to the center capture point. And that's stupid and it's annoying and it's in the remaster as well. And then you get areas where it looks like you can put troops there, but you can't. And then areas where it looks like you can put troops there, you can't deploy troops there, you can't tell them to move there, but they can move there. So that means you end up with like an area, like 2 buildings, and you want to deploy your unit across the entire area between the 2 buildings, but for these 2 squares, you can't put your unit there or tell it to move there or get it to move there. And then instead just being 3 squares, but the enemy will attack, bulge round 3 squares and then start moving down the squares where you couldn't put them. And it's really annoying when you wanted to hold your enemy there in a siege and it's like, oh! Microsoft has never cared, even back in Halo, for Halo days. They're making hyenas, was it a mistake, that Sega? I don't even know, but I keep hearing the word hyenas and I still don't really know what it's about. That Sega rightfully pulled the plug on because they took one look at it and said, what are you doing? Rome 2 wall sieges, the Spartan pikemen shoved against the walls exist. I remember not liking Rome 2 at all. I did like parts of Rome 2. I'm like, oh, I really like some of what they've done, but going from Rome 1 to Rome 2 absolutely sucked. Like, especially as someone who has this issue where I sometimes struggle telling the differences on like a screen between things that are kind of similar coloured. Like, I just cannot tell who's... When it comes to Rome battles, I can't tell what's going on in those battles half the time. It's like, it's just a blob of soldiers fighting a blob of soldiers. I can't tell which ones are mine. Rome 1 was great because everything was super colourful and over the top, and it's similar to Warhammer in that way. It's very easy to tell what's going on. But for the other thing, if a lack of population in Rome 2, oh my goodness. I miss population mechanics. I miss them. I miss my populations. And I miss having generals. And being able to use captains. And making my own garrisons. It was great. I miss so many mechanics in Rome 1. I understand why they got rid of some of them, but oh, I miss them. I miss them. What CA for RTS guys are doing making an extraction shooter is beyond our known sanity. Wait, Hyenas was an extraction shooter. Oh my goodness. And Sega didn't force them to make it, so it's not like what are they? The Arcane guys being forced to make a weird multiplayer game that was absolutely terrible. The guys who made Dishonored for Arcane Studios. And they didn't want to make it. I can't remember what it's called. It's called Red something or something like that. But they're being fought. It was one of those stupid live games. Live service games. And they were forced to make it. No one liked working on it. Most of the team quit on them. Then what remained after it came out was absolutely sucked. They ended up destroying it. And Arcane had 2 studios at the time. And now only Arcane Leon still exists. Although I do think they made the Dishonored games Leon. I've noticed that a lot of older players are diehard for Rome 1 and Medieval. It's because Medieval and Rome 1 are basically the same game. It's like, I got actually very upset when I was young. I didn't buy Medieval 2 because I was like, what? They're screwing over modders with this game. Because Rome 1 was super, super easy to mod using text files. And then when Medieval 2 came out, when I came across Medieval 2 more accurately, was it Medieval 2? Yeah, Medieval 2, I think. it was much harder to edit for files of it, like to unlock factions and stuff. I was like, oh, that's annoying. But yeah, for pretty much the same game in many regards. Medieval game and Rome. And so are the Shogun games in a lot of it. A lot of these old games that share lots of the mechanics, they look exactly like one another. They're built basically the same engine, using half of the same assets, and the assets that are different still are basically still using the same asset model as a base. And this is where, well, then they ended up moving to Rome 2 and stuff like that, and that's era of games which Warhammer belongs to. And they removed the population mechanics, they removed a lot of the different mechanics of the games and replaced them, and it was fun, but it's not the same. And then these games, a lot of them were mostly digital, so they started doing DLCs and stuff, which locked a lot of factions that you would have just got for free with the main game, were instead locked behind DLC. And it wasn't like the DLC added very much, other than allowing you to play as a faction. I was like, oh, this isn't fun. It's like why I like Rome 3 DLCs more than Rome 3. Warhammer 3 DLCs over Warhammer 2, because of Warhammer 3, you get a lot more in your DLCs. I started with Rome 2, then Shogun 2, then Napoleon, then Warhammer 3. I've played a little bit of Medieval. I've seen a bunch of the Shogun games. And some of Three Kingdoms. I am tempted by Three Kingdoms. I just don't like the fact that the factions are all pretty much the same faction. And the Shogun games are very similar to that. But I started with Rome 1, moved on to Rome 1, then moved on to Rome 2, moved back to Rome 1, got Warhammer 2, then Warhammer 3, and Rome Remastered. Rome Remastered is great. The main reason I stopped playing Rome 1 is because it just didn't work very well on modern systems and was just dying and crashing all the time. Total War 3 had a bumpy start, but honestly it's awesome now. Yeah. We've always wanted smarter AI. It's never going to get smarter. It's never get... Oh, it's a high fool. Yeah, it would never get smarter. As much as I'd love it to. As much as I'd love... Can't happen. Oh no, his hand fell off! Evil Wolf, this is your fault. It's a Night Lord, so I don't care. No! He worships Sinch. He's a god. He worships a Lord of Change because he hopes he can change. And people. And he'll learn to love. And people could love him. That's why Mr. Joe Joson became a cultist of Sinch. Because he wants to change for the better. He just wants to find love. And he finds love with the power of a plasma gun pointed in people's faces. But Night Lords look cool. Look, he's got bat ears on and he's got vampire aesthetics. You gotta love him. You gotta love them. There we go, that's better. If I was in 40k, I'd like being undivided prince. No one has control over you and you get benefits. Not quite. you have no one has control over you, but that means everybody is... You got nobody protecting you either. You are very much at risk. And just because you're a demon doesn't mean that you can't die inside the warp. It just means you can't die in the mortal realm. Well, unless you get captured. Or get stabbed by an aether blade or whatever it's called. Ethereum. So what you'd say is to become a demon prince that would end up falling to Slanesh. I used to like a company called Project Moon. They made an anime SCP type stuff based off an old literature. Then they made a gacha game. Oh no. Oh no. Look. As a kid, I loved Looney Tunes. I loved the Looney Tunes show. I wish I made more of a Looney Tunes show. And I loved what DC comic book animated stuff. Oh my goodness. But if you've not seen Batman for Animated Series, Mr. Freeze film, you need to do so. It's a work of art. It's beautiful. It shaped my life. Much harder to die than mortal. Hey, if your mortal soul dies and you worship the God Emperor, it goes to the God Emperor. Yay. You might become a perpetual. Also, I'm not entirely sure that you actually kind of survive becoming a demon. I think really your soul and who you are gets destroyed and ultimately replaced by just manifestations of chaos. Meanwhile, you yourself are long gone. Enough blackpiling about games, for now I must sleep. Goodbye, Sean Duncan. I hope you sleep well. Yeah. Not really a fan of the Emperor or Malkador. To be honest, if I was in the 40k universe, I'd probably try to be a rogue trader sort of person. That would probably be the way I'd go. But it's very hard to know. Like, if I got the ultimate choice of who can I be, where can I be, like, if I got to choose, like, I can be a demon, I can be a Xenos. I can't be a named character, but I can be, like, anything I want to be. Then it'll be hard to make a choice. I'd probably want to be a race allied to the Tau. Like, there's a few cool races that are allied to them. Some of them are very long-lived. And quite cool. But you don't really get to see them much. Like, there's some psychic teddy bears. Effectively, really fluffy, cute guys who are all psychic. And you see them in Battlefleet Gothic. Oh, that's the other game about Battlefleet Gothic. Oh my goodness, another super chat!
Exclamation mark bombardment.
Does this actually work? Am I going to be bombarded? KITS? Okay, no. I think it's fine. Thank you. Thanks, Ada Cola, Sean Duncan. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. I'd eat for Emp. I'd love to be a Groot and eat for Emp. Oh no. Thank you for the $. Thank you for the $. For just of that, you won't get turned into a cult by the Night Lords. Yeah, they're gonna spare you. So anyway, today we made a lot of models. We made 7 models compared to 5 yesterday. We made 2 Havoc dudes. Ow! Thanks for Bombardment. But it's nice to know that Bombardment doesn't work in super chats. I need to work on some stuff off the supers and so on. Or I'll try doing that after the stream, maybe tomorrow. Oh. I think it's very hard to know though. Like, if you go into think of you're born into 40k, you don't really get to choose anything. I imagine I would probably try to becoming a trader, definitely. If I was born into a hive world, I would definitely try to escape the hive by getting onto ships and like trying to join merchants and traders rather than joining the gangs. Well, that's generally how I do stuff anyway. But and then I'd probably try to get like onto one of the nicer planets. Like maybe in one of the nicer agri worlds, or just basically anywhere that's not a hive world. It's so hard to know. I'll probably be a Longshank. Jokes aside, being a Kroot is nicest, honestly. You would be forced to go to war quite often, though, because the Tau do you... I mean, you probably would enjoy going to war, but you would be used as foot soldiers quite often. And scouts and stuff. And despite everything, Tau do use Kroot as a sort of meat shield and other auxiliaries. Unfortunately. Which is fine, Kroot have a lot of numbers and can replenish your numbers a lot quicker than Tau. Better to use as a foot soldiers. Kroot are respected by Tau besides the fourth sphere. Yeah, it's... They're respected, but at the same time, there is some stuff going on. I ruined my own joke. I meant hand shoulders. That makes sense. Safe for work chat. Yeah. Oh, but anyway, what's that? Oh gosh, it's 7:30. Okay, okay. Let me just quickly check who's live right now, if anybody. If anybody. Legend Total War is live. Let's raid him. Is he actually live? What is this? Let's go. Yep. Made Mint. Tomo. Do we want to raid any of them? Might be better to join Farsight's enclaves rather than the Tau Empire. Could be. Could be. Although there is still rumours he might be corrupted by Khorne. And I don't think that's either been confirmed or denied by Games Workshop at this point. He is not live. Oh. That's sad. Oh. Okay. I don't know if there's anyone raiding at the moment. So, YouTube's being stinky on me. YouTube's being a bit weird and stinky. Oh, Farsight Enclaves for sure. I'd chase Auto Sub-Commander Torchstar. I mean, being an Orc War Boss wouldn't be the worst life, but you probably wouldn't be a short life in most regards. It's very hard making a choice. It would be very, very hard making a choice. Being inside the Empire, inside the Imperium, there are plenty of ways to live a very long life. At least you die happy. Hopefully, unless you died getting poisoned by another Orc or smacked in the head or something, or very annoyed that your machine wouldn't work and then exploded. Being a Necron would not be good. That would be torture. Even if you're one of the super powerful ones like the Silent King. I think the only one where it's like maybe not torture is... What's his name for Infinite? Do you know, the guy who steals everything? I don't think it's even implied that heavily in his own thing. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure I remember a scene, actually, where he has a very somber moment with, like, someone who works with him. And it's like... And there you see if the actual curse of being a Necron does actually affect him as much as he otherwise hides it or doesn't show it very well. P-P-P-P-P-P-I-L-K. Hello! Please speak in English. I don't understand Russian or whatever language. That is... I'm going to translate quickly. Translate. Translate. All. No. It is Russian. All the figures look like my grandfather. Very grey and unpainted. Hey, wait, this one's painted. This one, oops, I dropped it. This one's painted. It's not got base, it's not been based yet, it's fine. Being an Inquisitor for Ordos Xenos, or one of the lesser Orders, might be interesting. I'd avoid for other two larger ones. Oh no, one of the things that actually first got me into Inquisitors was reading a short story about the Order Hereticus and a guy who had some demons. Oh, what do they call them? Demonocopolis or something like that. And he had like this dude who was below him who was actually just a demon. Like his second in command, it was like demon that pretended to be human. And these demons were not linked to any of the Chaos Gods, they're just warp entity stuff. And oh my goodness, it was such a good read. It was like, it gave such like depth to them and the idea that they use demons and understand them. And that in some regards, you can view demons more like, not just reflections of our universe, but that the Chaos Gods may be less godlike than we actually think. They're godlike, but they're not necessarily gods. They're more or less entities that exist. And it's like, oh, it was so fun. It was such a fun read. I need to find some of the short story stuff I had. I think some of them are like in White Dwarf, different codexes, and there's definitely a couple of books I had that were just filled with short stories. They're not gods, you're right. Yeah. But while we are talking about being in Tau Empire Enclave, you have a choice for life. You don't want to be a Tau in those ones, though, unless you can be a Farseer or maybe the Watercast. Just that being a Tau means that from birth, you're genetically engineered and... Well, maybe not engineered, but definitely there's a genetic thing going on where you're pushed to do certain things. And you're not always going to be happy in them. Like, especially for Watercast, some of the stories have put a massive implication on people are forced into the casts, but not necessarily always happy.
Nothing
While
wrong
there's a
with being
genetic
Tau.
disposition to it, they're not always happy to be there. I'd rather be one of the people like the humans of one of the Xenos races that are under the Tau, rather than one of the Tau themselves. More happy than eating corpse starch, sure. Yeah, but that's like, often when we look at the Imperium, we look at like the worst aspects of it. And it's easy to forget that there's plenty of planets on the Imperium where life is not terrible. And it's probably, most planets it's worse than we have today, or at least if you live in like Europe, it's probably worse than what you have today. But like in the Last Chances for on a planet, right? It's like one of the later books. I won't spoil anything just in case you want to read it. But he's on a planet and he's in the guard. And the planet is actually fine, but it's very inspired by like the 1920s Earth. Like they've got radio going on. I say 1920s, like 1920s plus the 1950s in a way. Maybe 1960s. Like there's a television which have broadcasts on them. And he's in a pub where the TV is. And you've got radios going on. Most people like to listen to the radio because TVs are a bit expensive. But there's an entertainment industry, there's cars, there's pubs, even don't really see any of a war. It's like, it's one of the reasons he picked being there, because it was just a nice place to be. There's no war, but the guardsmen only exist there really just because every planet needs some guardsmen. It's like, oh, that was... It was nice, like people weren't going hungry, you didn't have gangs everywhere or violence everywhere. And there's quite a few planets in the Imperium where it's like that. Or where the average person lives a relatively decent life. Like comparable to today. Like today, there's a lot of people who do not live very good lives. There's a lot of places where gangs rule. That doesn't mean that it's bad. So I think there's plenty of chances in the Imperium to have a relatively nice life. Because it's huge. It's such a huge and diverse place. Meanwhile... And the Eldar... They're scarier. I'd definitely say I wouldn't want to be an Eldar because you got the constant fear of Slaanesh. I don't think I'd like that. I think if I had to be an Eldar, I'd rather be a Dark Eldar. Because at least a Dark Eldar, with the entire Thingos, is... If you die, they can literally bring you back to life. You don't get to become a little jewel. No, you just get brought back to life. If you can prove yourself very worthwhile to a Cabal, they'll just keep bringing you back. It's like, oh my gosh, I died on that last raid. A bolt gun splashed straight into me. It's like, yeah, we brought you back so you can do another raid. It's like, oh, great, fine, I'm going to do that then. That still would not be a great life, but at least you don't have as much fear of Slaanesh as other Eldar do. Where, with like the normal craft world, you're just going to end up being... It feels inevitable that eventually Slaanesh will get hold of your soul. You wouldn't want to be a Tyrannid. That doesn't sound good. It feels like the only two ways of living a good life is the Imperium or the Tau. The Imperium is really rolling the dice, giving you a... It's like a 5 in 10 chance you're going to have a terrible life, and a 5 in 10 chance you might not be incredibly terrible. It might be halfway okay. And then a 1 in 100 where it might actually be a pretty good life. With the Tau, it's not good. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's good. Usually. But then the Tau feel like they're probably... But the further existence of a Tau feels very, very questionable. The Photan, probably not great being a clone and worshipping an AI construct. I mean, I guess a Photan wouldn't have the worst lives either. I wouldn't be bad. I don't know. I don't know. By the way, thank you for coming to the stream. I meant to be ending this ages ago. It's been another 12 minutes, so let's go. Being a Harlequin would be interesting if you like performing, as long as you never get given the role of, what's it called? Oh, there's a role in the performance. It's the one where effectively, if you ever take that role, your soul is condemned to Slaanesh. I can't remember what it's named though. You know, actually, I have a perfect way of checking. One last look at the website before we go. Solitaire, yeah, it's a solitaire. Well, let's just check because I'm here now. Oh wait, no, do the Harlequins have their own book actually? What's that right there? No, it's just Eldari. Okay. Solitaire, yeah, it's this one. It is this one. Yeah. Oh, it looks so cool. Like a teleporty effect there. Oh. And the model does look a bit boring though for kit for it. Oh no, it's even tell me here. Why did I read about the solitaires? I don't know. I don't know. Well, thank you everybody. Love you all. We need to still make more of these. Tomorrow we'll be playing the Daka game. Daka Squadron. Flying planes we will be. And the day after, I think we'll be building some orcs and goblins. Some orcs and goblins, yeah. Maybe some trolls. Maybe some big old trolls. So bye-bye. I'm dodging. You can't get me. Huh. What? Bob! Love you all. Bye-bye. Remember to work hard, play harder, take care of yourselves, be kind to others and vice versa. Work hard, not work hard. Eat good food, sleep well, and you know, dream of cupcakes, but don't eat cupcakes. Bye-bye, love you all, yeah!